I understood that reference.
What's up, Legion of Creators, December 5th, 2025. I'm Luke Dinger.
And I'm Joey Lipham.
And I'm Kenna Starr.
And we're going to get into a couple subjects today. Trying to do a little bit of a revamp for episode 40 in case you haven't been here already. Going to be talking about big old Netflix bidding for DC. Seems like they're going to be the final prospects of who gets it. Nothing's officially final yet, though, from what I've heard. Marvel Cosmic Invasion came out recently. Pretty fun fighter, like beat-em-up fighter arcade game. Zootopia 2 came out over the weekend. We got two people here that watched it and have some thoughts on it. Welcome to Dairy, our weekly horror show that we like to talk about. We had episode 6 this week, and Stranger Things season 5 finally came out before GTA 6 even, and we got part 1 at 4 episodes that we'll be talking about, and there's various other subjects that'll come and go as we get into these subjects. Without further ado, let's play the intro, and we'll get started.
Legion of Creators.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Why is it freezing?
And we're back.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in, Retro Lad. Welcome in, Underground, Jim Tim. And yeah, we're ready to go. So we're going to kick off the first part of the show with, of course, we call this topic, our Netflix and DC talk. So we'll get all the Netflix stuff right down to it, and then we'll talk about a little bit of DC news on top of the Netflix DC news.
Let me pop it.
Wow, join the channel. That's cool. Thank you, RetroLad. All right.
What you got, Joe?
So we're gonna
DC.
Netflix and DC. So we found out today that Netflix spent the big bucks on trying to they really want to buy Warner Brothers. So, and it looks like they're gonna succeed. Looks like they're in some final negotiations. And the internet, thank you, Jim Tim. The internet is losing their minds. They're going full on Heath Ledger Joker. Everybody just loses their minds. Like it's kind of crazy. Oh, thank you, Underground. We appreciate the feedback. So Luke, you want to start off on this one?
It's worrying. I think anybody who's a DC fan and it depends. Are you a Snyderverse fan or are you not? If you are, you might be pretty excited because I think the first thing everybody thinks Snyderverse. But from what we hear, James Gunn is staying, right?
Yep.
So
the GOAT is not going anywhere.
What we do have to worry about is how is Netflix actually going to handle this? While they say they're going to do theatrical releases, you are also said Ted. I don't want to mess up his last name because I don't know it off the top of my head, but Sarandos or something.
I think it's Ted Sarandos. Is how you pronounce it.
Has said he's against theatrical releases, right? So it's either he's been swayed another way with a new strategy, or it's bullshit. I don't know. You know what I mean?
My take is that they were told him. My take is that he was told contingencies. When they made the deal, I think the deal changed. So I think he had what he wanted, and then they're like, "Oh, if you have to uphold what the brand is," and I also found out. And I was going to mention this, guys, that no matter what they do with this product, Netflix has to uphold to contracts with Warner Brothers and IMAX all the way up to 2029. So even if the deal goes through, say 2027, they still have to release things at IMAX. They still have to uphold the rules.
Right. Only for so
So
long, though. 2029.
that's still a
like,
few years, though. That's still like quite a few years that they get. Yeah, smash the
I
like
also
button, guys.
think what's interesting is that from what I've heard, HBO Max is still going to be a thing, and so maybe Netflix and HBO Max will partner up because I read something about how some things are still going to stay on HBO Max, but
Yep.
then also maybe move on or be on Netflix. But I don't know unless they're going to create some new kind of bundle that everybody has to get on, monthly for whatever to watch the latest DC thing, or yeah, because
I think they'll have a
typically.
bundle. Oh,
Because
go ahead.
typically Max is the home of like majority all DC things. So I feel like it would be a lot to just take it and then move it over to Netflix. So I think it is smart that HBO Max is still going to be a thing and going to be like mostly the placeholder or the vault of DC things. And with the theatrical thing release, I did hear something about that even though Tim did say that he's not a fan of theatrical releases, and then it could be true that he was swayed into a different marketing way to be like, oh, if we do release movies in theaters, you'll make more money. I read something that maybe there will be theatrical releases for DC projects, but it will be less, or it will be in only like in a certain time frame.
What I'm
Rather than
understanding
what
is
we're
that
used
it's
to.
gonna be. What I'm understanding is that it's gonna be for the big house characters. So your Batman, your Superman, your Wonder Woman, and then if they do a Justice League film, then yeah, that will happen. But I think what's gonna happen with this deal is you're gonna get less risks. So like if they do this, I think like something like we would like to see characters like the Question. He's more inapt to show up in either a cameo setup in a Justice League movie or they do a show on Max or Netflix. Like, I don't think he gets a movie.
I think
Or maybe.
you're more...
Go ahead, Luke. No, I was gonna say about like, or like I just thought of like Huntress. Maybe he gets thrown into like a Huntress project on Max or Netflix. Like, it just depends. Go ahead, Luke.
I mean, I can see them doing more small independent projects when it comes to
Yes.
being on Netflix. Like, yeah, okay, we don't see as many theatrical releases, but with what they had plans, wasn't that really just like one movie a year, one show a year? And
Right, like a movie show, yeah.
right, and probably a
Mhm.
game at some point gets thrown in, like game every couple of years maybe or something like that, because I know they're trying to incorporate the games into the universe too. I remember hearing that, and I think that was part of the strategy when it came to canceling like that Wonder Woman game that was in production and a few other DC ideas they had roaming around. But I don't know. Oh, my cat's trying to intrude.
Your cat's trying to join the show.
Hey.
Kid's like, I want to be on camera.
Oh,
Cat joins. Yeah, I feel like it's this is still for me. I still feel like this is a wait and see. We have to see how they do. But right now, I don't think it's really concerning so much yet, other than Chris mentioning the physical media thing that I think is kind of concerning because a lot of people like to have their collections. And Netflix doesn't always like to put out their movies on Blu-ray or 4K or all that, or their shows. So that kind of is concerning. Hopefully they'll get swayed into on that though too. But
I do think though, just because Netflix is buying Warner Brothers, it doesn't necessarily mean that Warner Brothers gone for good. So I think there might be a way that like, yes, Netflix bought Warner Brothers and owns Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers still has somewhat of the rights to make those said Blu-ray movies. Again, like
Yeah.
the big hitters like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, like, and big name like Justice League. So I think there's still a light in the tunnel for some things. And
well, yeah,
again,
because it seems like go ahead, Kenna.
and again, like I feel like of all the talks of who was gonna buy Warner Brothers, it was bound to be messy. It was bound to be having concerns anyway. And I think out of all the other ones, and even though Netflix is, yes, true, not 100% perfect, I feel like it is the better, or one of the better options compared to like Paramount. Because if Paramount bought Warner Brothers, I would have more concerns than I do Netflix.
Well, you know why that is. So I mean, because Paramount wanted James Gunn gone, and they wanted to push a much more. Trump was even in on it because they wanted to push a much more political angle to what was going on, with Paramount. So yeah, as long as Paramount doesn't get it, I
Mhm.
think that we're in
and
pretty safe hands.
And again, Netflix, 100% not perfect. I totally see where the concerns lies, and I think they're completely fair. But I also think it could be worse. It could be way worse. And so, right now, and again, we don't really know that much. So right now, it's a little we can feel a little bit more optimistic. But again, I can totally see where
And I think the
the
other thing that
concerns.
we need to also take into account in this situation right now is this deal. Like, yes, they're in serious talks right now. These deals do not get finalized for years. Like people saying that in 2027, they're like, oh yeah, this deal's gonna be done, everything's gonna be all good post like the project coming out in 2027 in theaters, right? But the thing people need to understand is it took them years. Uh, it took them years to do how do I word this? It took them years to get the Fox and Marvel Disney deal done, and like it didn't take effect till I don't know what year it was, but it was a few years basically. And so this whole situation, we might not even see this take effect till at the latest. I'm gonna say, if everything goes good, maybe 2028, 2029 at the latest, because I feel like people saying it's going to be done in 2027. There's a lot of paperwork that goes with this stuff. I don't feel like 2027 is a done deal because we still got a lot of 2027 projects to focus on. Everything that's been announced, that's already been worked on, and has already been edited and everything, that stuff is all still coming out. So you're still going to get Supergirl. You're still going to get Clayface. You're still going to get Lanterns. You're still going to get I'm trying to think of a missing one. Man of Tomorrow is still coming out. You're still getting the Batman 2 with Matt Reeves. So those are all still coming. The Mr. Miracle show they're working on, that's still coming. So I feel like in terms of this, we're not worrying about this until at least another couple of years. Hold up. I think Netflix and HBO and Netflix should do a bundle or mix it up different categories on Netflix. No, that's an interesting thoughts. Oh, and what did Richard say? He said, do you guys collab on the YouTube channels? They do that now? Oh, yeah, I know how to add Luke to that. I got to make sure I add him to that after the stream's over.
No, it's all good, dude. I mean, this is posting to my channel just as well.
Yeah, we're
I think
collaborating at
that's
the
why
same
it's asking
time.
that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
Restream
yeah.
allows that.
Yep, we got it all. Restream makes it a lot easier for that. So, do we have
I
any
think
final thoughts?
we're gonna get more animated projects. Honestly, I think you're gonna. I think it's a possibility, at least, that we get more than one animated project a year.
Well, here's something I was thinking about too, and I was going to talk to you guys about this. I don't know if you guys know this, but when the CW made their move to like force all their superhero shows off their network, which was stupid. You know who got all the rights for all their CW related live action shows? Netflix owns almost all the rights to all the I think except for Superman and Lois, they own all the Arrowverse shows, we'll call them. So like you can find Arrow on Netflix, you can find Flash on Netflix, you can find I think Supergirl, I think Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning, all of them. And so one thought that crossed my mind is now that we're kind of Warner Brothers as a company was running that stuff connected to everything, there's a thoughts that we'll get to that retro ad. There's a whole thing like they could bring the Arrowverse stuff into a new light if they wanted to, because they have the rights to make more money off that, and if those shows have been constantly hitting for them and making them a lot of money and getting them a lot more subscribers. So if that's what they want to do, they can push that forward. And like I said, you could get more animated projects. You could, especially if you got the 2 streaming services operating, then you could do something like that. Like I think that's totally doable. I mean, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like I think overall, I think the big thing is like once again, this is all wait and see. We just got to see how it pans out. But there is potential for things to go in the right direction. I feel. That's just my thoughts.
We have to see how it goes. Really,
Yes.
right? We can be
agree.
hopeful, and it's not going to even happen for a little while, anyways.
That's what I'm saying.
So, yeah, but I don't know. Let's just
For me,
hope
I'm
for the
just
best.
I'm just focused on the fact that the GOAT is staying. The only thing I was worried
That's all
about
that
Netflix is I was worried about that the DCU is gonna be no more. And we're gonna get all this Snyder crap and all this other nonsense because there's people making thumbnails today, and I know people like to crack jokes at me and have clips at me, but the truth is I did not want Snyderverse stuff to be mainstay focus. So the fact that I'm seeing that people are on here like, oh, they're gonna fire James Gunn and look at all this, restore the Snyderverse. Fuck James Gunn. He fired Henry Cavill and all this other BS nonsense posted online. I saw 5 thumbnails of people just shitting on James Gunn, and I'm like, bro. And then the news comes out later, like, nah, bro. Netflix wants James Gunn. You guys are idiots. It's like, come on, like,
People
it's
just
not
love to hate, man.
yeah, they do love to hate. They're mad that they don't get what they want, and now they might get what they want in like an Elseworld capacity, or like I told Kenna, like a comic or something. But also, I also read some stuff that Netflix don't love James Gunn, like, or not James Gunn. Netflix doesn't love Zack Snyder because apparently Rebel Moon, you know, it tanked hard. It was bad. So
Yeah.
Also,
did
numbers
his
don't lie.
animated Norse mythology. He had an animated show based on Norse mythology, I think, and it got canceled after 1 season. So
Yep, that's what happens.
it's just not looking so good for Snyder projects.
Yeah, I
Huh.
said it.
On
I said
Netflix.
it to Joe. If Paramount had it, James Gunn would be sacked. Yeah, and we don't want that. That's not what we want. We want to see the vision continue. I want to see a Justice League movie in the future. At least it doesn't have to be directed by James Gunn, but he should be a creative mind on the project. So, AJ's on Twitch. Hi, AJ. Welcome. Yeah. So, anybody else got anything else to say about this Netflix thing, or should we drive into some other DC topics?
I got nothing. We can dive into DC.
I
right.
mean, really, I guess we should pivot into Scarlett Johansson.
Wait, we have multiple. We have a couple DC things. Do you want to start with the Johansson thing, or you want
Why
to start
not?
with the
Retro brought
Supergirl
it up.
updates?
So
Yeah.
why not?
All right, yeah. So we got news earlier this week, guys, and I do want to bring the backing on this because I'm also going to be doing a video about this tonight because I think it's pretty. Yeah, we're multi-dual streaming. AJ, when we do restream, we can dual stream on more than one channel, more than one platform. So Luke's stuff are being streamed on, my stuff's being streamed on. So yeah, but so overall, so we got the news a couple days ago that Scarlett Johansson is saying, "Hey, fuck you, Marvel. I'm done with your shit. You didn't treat Black Widow with respect. I didn't get I got my money, but I had to fight for it. So now I gotta I want the big bucks. I want to go after the hot thing because Marvel right now is not being viewed in the best light. So go to the thing that is being viewed in the best light. And so apparently, now when we first got the details, we just heard that Matt Reeves wanted Scarlett Johansson for a role, and it was said to be rumored on the first day. Then later that day, we had heard that it was in final talks. And then I found out yesterday that before Scarlett was wanted for this role, Matt Reeves wanted Emma Stone. And Emma Stone turned it down. And then, because Emma Stone turned it down, Scarlett Johansson literally just was like, she told her, what do you call it, her agents, right? Go after this thing hard. I want it. And she said she wants it so bad that she took a pay cut for it. Like, she's like, I don't care. I don't care what I have to do. I want this. And so the new reports are saying, so the final talks right now are the new details we have on the project. We do not know what character she is playing in the story of the Batman 2. But what we do know is that she is going to play a love interest that is turned villainous, we will say. And we do know that Catwoman is not in this movie. That has been confirmed to the public. So whatever, if you guys were fans of Zoe Kravitz, we'll see her probably in Batman 3. But right now, Bruce Wayne, we're going to get a lot more of the focus on Bruce Wayne in this movie. We will still see Batman.
Zoe Kravitz.
I mean, I love her too. I think she's great. But Bruce Wayne is known to be a playboy. Sometimes you're going to see him with other women throughout, especially with young Bruce Wayne. He's going to mess around a little bit. Like, he does marry Catwoman in comics, but he's been with multiple people. So let's go through the candidates of who we think she could play, and then I'll go to what I think. I think there's two people. I think there's only two people that are really, really possible, and I think that those two are the most likely. But I just came up with a third one earlier, so
I
I think
don't think they ever got married.
yeah, Catwoman and Batman got
Did
married in
they?
the comics. Yep.
Because the wedding happened and then they didn't get married. at
There's
the
there's
wedding.
one draft where they do get married. There's one comic
That's a
storyline.
draft, though.
Well, no, like there's a
right?
completed comic where they do get married, and there is a
Okay.
storyline, and there's one where they have kids
I'd
too.
have to look. I'd have to.
Yeah,
I'd
so-
have to look more into it myself.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. There's one where it didn't happen. There's one that did, and I think Kenna knows about that one too. But so anyway,
I
so
know that in the Batman Brave and the Bold cartoon, they they did get married, but they changed it to Selena being Damien's mother instead of Talia. But that was just one animated version. So
let's get the big talk out of the way in regards to this casting right now. Ivy's out of the question. I'm told. I'm told that everybody that knows who it is that can't say who it is saying Ivy's not happening. I've heard she's not Ivy.
Huh?
Now they could lie, and it could come out in media when they start filming that she's Ivy. But for right now, and the other reason why she's not Ivy that people need to remember. Do you guys remember that article a few months back when we first found out that the Batman 2 was getting ready to film, and we just got announced that we're getting a new cinematographer, and Matt Reeves said this thing where he said the villain of this movie has not appeared in any live action adaptations. You guys remember Uma Thurman in Batman and Robin?
That's Poison
We've-
Ivy.
We've seen Poison Ivy on the big screen. It wasn't the best adaptation, but we've seen it. So for the Batman 2, the whole plan, this has to be someone that we have not seen. We can see them in animation. We can see them in animation, video game adaptations, but this is someone that has not appeared live action. And so for me, there's three characters that I think are the most likely option. Number 3 on my list is I think she could be, I don't remember what her character is, but I think, or what her character's actual name is, but I think she could be a lead Grandmaster member of the Court of Owls, since they're heading into that Court of Owls storyline. They could do that. But she's like my least favorite option because it's possible, but I think it's still kind of too early to dive into Court of Owls. So for me, I'm kind of like, not really. Hey, welcome, Chosen. But then our second one on the list is what Retro has already said in the chat, which is in the Telltale Batman video games, there was a character called Lady Arkham, where they take the character of Vicky Vale, who is a journalist at the Gazette, and she had a relationship with Bruce Wayne, but instead of being a good person and just being a journalist and having the hots for Bruce Wayne and choosing between Bruce Wayne and Batman, who do I like more, like in some of the old Michael Keaton movies, she's evil. And one of the storylines they do in the Telltale story is that she is mad at Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne's father was responsible for bad things happening at Arkham. And so she was responsible. His father in the comics was much more of in some iterations, Thomas Wayne is a dick. And he does really bad things. And so one of the things that he did is was responsible for Lady Arkham, a.k.a. Vicky Vale's father's death in one storyline. So Lady Arkham is an option. I have heard a rumor that I'll mention in this topic that the main villains of this film, because this film is said to have 2 villains, I've heard the main big bad of this movie is a character called Dr. Arkham. So if we have a female antagonist, we're also going to have a male antagonist, if this report is to be believed. And so if they did do Dr. Arkham, I could see the whole idea being that it could be it could be Dr. Arkham and then Lady Arkham, right? But here's the thing I'm going to say that's really interesting. I actually don't think that this is the case. I do think that we could still get a secondary villain in this movie alongside our main villain. But I do think that as much as not everyone's going to be on board with this idea, I am getting to that, Chris. I do think the number one person this is probably going to be, and I've already seen some fan art on it, I think they are going to go for the Phantasm. I think they are going to do Andrea. If you guys don't know, if you haven't seen Master of the Phantasm, it's the greatest animated Batman story ever told. And it is, and the reason why I think it's so obvious to do the Phantasm at this point is because of what the Phantasm does to Bruce Wayne in that storyline. And the thing that people need to understand is I've seen so many people say, oh, it's going to be an adaptation of that movie. Yes, it will be an adaptation. It will not be a Disney shot-for-shot remake style BS. It's going to be, Matt Reeves is going to do his own thing with it, but it's still going to honor that story. And if they do the Phantasm, it'll be really cool. So I think Scarlett's got the chops for it. But I think what's really cool about it is the idea that you could do something that dissects Bruce Wayne's character to a T, and not just and not just like, it's not just going to affect Batman. This will run deep within Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne will fall for her, and then he will be devastated. So, but now I've talked about the options. Are you guys excited that Scarlett Johansson has traded her Black Widow tights to join DC? Like, how are you guys feeling?
I've
think
heard
it's good.
rumors that Black Widow could still come back.
Oh, I've heard that too. But I just think it's funny that, you know, she's going to join a DC movie right now,
Well-
and they're filming Doomsday. So
Right. Well,
she
here's
could
the
do
thing. So
both. It's possible.
this isn't the first time, because look at David Harbour. He was literally voicing Frankenstein in Creature Commandos,
oh, it's
and then
possible.
in
It's-
Thunderbolts. So Scarlett Johansson, yes, two things can be true at once: that she's filming as Black Widow for Avengers Doomsday maybe one last time, and then after that, or at the same time, she's being whoever in Batman 2. So
Yeah. So I do think we're gonna get Black Widow back. I do think. Oh, hello, dog lover.
hello.
I do think it is going. I do think that we are gonna get. So I do think we'll get. Yeah, we'll get Black Widow back in some capacity. But I do think that for Scarlett, as a fan of her work as an actress, this is a step in the right direction, because honestly, yes, she wants to do other things, but I've seen a lot of people on the update of this news that people really like that she's made very big comments that she doesn't want to play a hero anymore. Now, what's interesting is if Black Widow does come back in the MCU, there's almost a decent chance that she's going to actually be playing a villain over at Marvel and DC. Because I've heard some things that we can talk about this for another topic, because I don't want to spend time on Marvel, so I just keep it short. But just in general, because it's not the kind of thing. We're trying to talk DC right now, bro. We're trying to stay on topic. But in general, yes, I do think Black Widow could come back. But I'm excited as a fan of Scarlett Johansson. I do think this is a good step for her. And I think, for one, while I love the DCU, we don't yet know where the Batman universe goes. Does it stay as its own thing, or do we join up and merge, right? So, like, at this point, I love that we're getting really, like, I've heard rumors of Oscar Isaac might be in the Batman 2, and he pretty much just gave the middle finger to Disney, like, I'm not playing Moon Knight, I'm not doing nothing for you guys, fuck all y'all, what you did to Poe Dameron, one of the greatest newer Star Wars characters. It's like, nah, fuck you all. What are you doing? He didn't even care. So that could still happen. And honestly, if this news is to believe about these villains, I could really see him either playing a Hugo Strange type character, or like an actual, like, say, Dr. Arkham. I could see him doing that kind of role. But I also think, but overall, I do think that, yeah, Scarlett Johansson being in line for a DC role, that sounds pretty exciting. And like I said, if you guys have seen Mask of the Phantasm, I really do hope that she is Andrea, because I think Andrea is the best chance they have of doing something really unique with this movie.
Personally, Vicky Val's cool, but I personally would love Andrea to be.
I think Andrea is the best one. Oh,
because like you said with Uma Thurman, of being like, it's somebody that hasn't been in a movie version of Batman, correct? Like a live action. Vicky Val has been in live action.
Correct. So we can eliminate her too. We can eliminate her too.
Possibly, right? So I'm thinking maybe
it's got to be Andrea. I think we just have to accept it's going to be Andrea, because then
It can't be Vicky Vale if there hasn't been a live adaptation.
Now their argument is that their argument is that the Vicky Vale that was in the Telltale series is different than the Vicky Vale.
Right, I can understand that, but it's still like, but compared to Vicky Val, though, Andrea is literally never been live action before.
Yeah,
Right.
and the
Most
fact that
so-
it's
And Mask of the Phantasm would be such a good move, to be honest. Like,
Mm-hmm.
great.
and can you imagine?
Story
Can
to
you
ad-
imagine the
adapt.
budget they put on this movie? Imagine a scene with Batman and whatever his updated suit is, and imagine you see throughout this movie. Because the thing about the Batman is you love the idea of this murder mystery thriller, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine throughout this movie, you see someone running around. If you've seen the Phantasm costume, that has like a really cool skeleton mask, and then
Right.
it's got like the little like not a hook, but like a blade for a hand. And imagine you just hear Bruce throughout this movie, kind of trying to figure out these murders that are going down. You just have murders throughout this movie going down. People are getting brutally executed, brutally murdered, and then you build up to the storyline throughout this movie that Andrea and Bruce are together. But then building towards the end of the movie, it gets revealed that Andrea is the Phantasm.
Also,
And-
personally, I just love the idea of adapting the Mask of Phantasm so much better than the Court of Owls for the second movie. I kind of want to take a step back from the Court
I'll
of
throw it
Owls just for now.
I think after Gotham Knights and when the failure it was, we need to take a step back into Court of Owls until we're confident what we're doing with the Court of Owls is going to work. Because they
I
also
also
did that
just think
Gotham
it's
Knights
too much
show.
for the Matt Reeves Batman, at least for now. Unless they're
I think
gonna
they could do it
merge,
in.
unless they're gonna.
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
think
you
it's
could
too
do-
early. It's way
Yeah.
too early, even for the third movie. Too early. I think.
I mean, it
personally.
depends what they have set up. Because I feel like
Right.
it is eventually going to lead in this trilogy to the Court of Owls. If they do it in the third movie, it's more believable because they can build it up here. Like
Mhm.
one thing I've seen someone say, and I actually like this idea, is one of the things they could change from the original source material because Matt Reeves is going to do his own thing with this, right?
Mhm.
Andrea could work for the court. Like they could have it where to set up the court, where they could have it where she has worked for them. So
Right.
this is
But
not going to be a shop for
I would still prefer just Mask of Phantasm strictly. Obviously, it's gonna be different to make sense within the Reeves universe of Batman, so things will change. But I think I would prefer just the standalone Andrea and not having some big, she's working for the Owls. Like
Well,
she's just doing her own thing.
I just feel like the fact that she is the fact that they're doing it this way. I think the fact that if it's going to be different, that's something. If Matt Reeves is really keen on doing the Court of Owls, he's going to want to set them up in a big way, and that would be the way to do it if he goes that route. I just don't want people to expect that you get all hyped for the Phantasm. Don't expect this to be 100% like the Phantasm movie. Matt Reeves is going to do his own thing, and he's going to make it unique because nobody wants. I mean, look at the How to Train Your Dragon movie. Nobody wants a shot-for-shot same version of the movie that you got, right? You can just watch the animated version. You don't need to do the same thing that we've already seen. That's why this whole Moana nonsense is stupid. But just in general, yeah, I think if they go Phantasm, great idea. Whatever idea they go with, I'm just thrilled for Scarlett Johansson. There's never been anything that Scarlett Johansson has played in where she's got to really pursue a villain role. She's been the tough, badass chick. She was in the Jurassic World movie recently. I think totally. I'll read that in a minute, Chris. I think totally her playing Andrea, she could do it. She's a great actress, and I think she's gonna crush it. You could have Bruce's father and Andrea's father as doctors. Her father worked at Arkham and got the hit. Oh yeah, that could happen. That's a pretty interesting take. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think this is great. I'm very excited when this news came out. Because it came out of left field. Like, we're hearing people get cast for this movie. When I heard about people being in the Batman 2, I'm guaranteeing you, I know she's moved away from Marvel for a long time, but I still don't think Batman 2 and go, who should be in the Batman 2? Scarlett Johansson. And it's even crazier the fact that Emma Stone was first, and Emma's like, nah. And then she's like, oh, Emma wanted this? Oh yeah, no. We're gonna go after this hard. Yes, we'll get more news for the Batman 2, especially because we're gonna have other villains in this movie. And the closer we get to filming, the more news. I mean, they just announced the other day, I don't remember what his name was, but they just announced that they just picked the new cinematographer because Greg Fraser has so many films lined up, he's not gonna be able to help with the first movie or with the second movie. So we do know that I think it's the guy, I can't remember his name, but this is the guy that did a lot of David Fincher films, like Seven. So, and he did cinematography for him, which makes sense because the first movie was very inspired by Seven. Andrea was probably at the orphanages with the Riddler. That's a possible theory. That's a good point. That could that's one thing I think that's really good about this whole Andrea situation.
You could do that.
Yeah. This
Maybe.
movie is going to be very built on corruption. I feel this second movie is going to dive deep into, is Bruce Wayne the Mask or is Batman the Mask? And you're going to see the corruption, like how he deals with, like he'll go out in public and he'll be shamed for not appearing in public. Like, he'll go to all these fancy parties. Like, I think they're going to do something with Bruce Wayne that you don't normally see in media, where in media you normally see Bruce Wayne. Oh, look, all the girls are like, look, it's Bruce Wayne. We're all so happy, they all flirt with him doing his thing. I think this one they're going to view him like, you could have saved us. Where were you? Why were you not at this event? Like, why did you not do this? And I think he's going to struggle with that duality of like, if I'm being Batman, can I be Bruce Wayne? So I think that's going to be kind of a big struggle for him. And I'm excited to see how they handle that. So, yeah, do we have any more thoughts on this Batman 2 news? Any final thoughts? Scarlett joining DC as Andrea potentially?
I think, dude, I'm for all of it. I'm for it all. I mean, if that's I trust in Matt Reeves. I just want to see the Batman 2. I love the Batman. I love Penguin. I think they're some of the best Batman adaptations we've ever had. They are so good. I'm questioning everything coming forward with the DCU's Batman. Like, and the fact that we have the director attached to that we do. I was talking to you guys about this earlier today, but like, I'm not super excited about that. But I love what they're doing here. I love it. And I just trust them. And just hearing these ideas, like, they sound like completely like completely would mesh with that world. And I just love their take on Gotham and their
I love
grittiness.
it too.
You know, I'm for it.
I think it's great, man. I think it's great. I think that like, I've been very kind of 50-50, but I've kind of come to the thing, even no matter how many people keep posting. I saw something today about people still hyping up on Brandon Sklenar, but I'm just like, we just need to accept that, especially now when you look at like the numbers and you want to have heavy hitters and everything that's going on. I think it just makes sense to just do the merger, because we already know that David Cornsweet and Pattinson would have
Batman with the DCU. Yeah, I'm for that too. For that too.
It just makes sense, man. I've come to the place where I'm just like, I just accept it. Like, no matter what actors I hear about playing Batman, whatever, I'm sick of seeing fan art. I'm sick of seeing, because I saw that fan art of Cornsweet and Pattinson. I'm like, yeah. And also the other thing that I was thinking about, and Kenna gave me a good point about this, and I agree with this. No matter what high profile actor that we get, and I know we only saw one movie with Pattinson so far. That one movie of Pattinson has shown to be one of the best Batman adaptations that we have gotten in live action. So like
DC movies, like,
yeah. So to me, it's like, if you're gonna bring another guy in, I don't know if you can do it, because I don't think you can level with Pattinson. I mean, this guy is just like the I Am Vengeance, the bone snapping, all of it is just the aura, man. It's just too good. I don't care if you get Brandon Sklenar. I don't care if all the morons yelling about Jake Gyllenhaal. All these other people,
is so good. It's one of those things that the Snyder Bros and the normal DC fans can all agree on, right? Because it's got that grittiness, it's got that modernization, but it still pays complete respect to what Batman is as a character. You know, even like with the subtleties of a young Batman getting hurt, and making it realistic. And yeah, Batman's not the complete badass, but like doing it to a degree that it's still believable because he's just learning still. Like, it's just so well done. I
think it's great. I think it's great. I think this is huge. I think I've kind of come full circle on the fact that like 2027 is going to be a big. 2027 is going to be a big year. But I feel like I've kind of come to the place of, I think because of the delays and everything that's happened, I got to look at the list again. But I'm pretty close to saying that I think the Batman 2 is probably my most anticipated movie for 2027. Just because we don't know if Secret Wars is going to happen that year, so that's a thing. And then like there's a couple other movies that come out, but like we know Man of Tomorrow comes out in 2027, but it's like, and like I love Superman, but I've always been much more of a Batman guy, and I loved the Batman. I love Penguin. I just think this movie is just going to be so good. I can't wait till they've actually gotten enough footage together so we get a proper trailer, because it just feels like once we get a proper trailer, it's going to be awesome. I see what you're saying, Chris. Jake Paul can fight. Watch Southpaw. He has the broken Batman aura. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. I get it. But I think a lot of people are just kind of, if it ain't broke, no need to fix it.
My thing is, like, even if they don't merge Robert Pattinson Batman, I rather just stop trying to pick and guess who actor
Same.
James Gunn is gonna pick, because no matter, like, we're not the ones who's pick, like, we're not in control. I mean, it's fun to fan cast, but it's gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what, it really could be anyone. It could be somebody that we don't even know or that we didn't even think of in the first place, and if they impress James Gunn, then James Gunn has picked them, and then we'll have to judge from there and wait till the actual movie. Unless, of course, the possibility of just merging Robert Pattinson's Batman universe,
Yeah,
but we just don't know.
We just gotta wait. Like whatever happens, I'm sure it's gonna be the right decision. It just depends what it is. What did Chris say? That was a good take. Random, the extended edition of Lord of the Rings trilogy are all re-releasing in theaters for the 25th anniversary of the first film starting January 16th. Yeah, they do this every year. It's not really anything new, but good for the Lord of the Rings franchise. Good for them making money. AJ says DCU movies in 2029 and Netflix. Yeah, that's probably when they'll start putting out stuff. And he also said that he thinks Zack Snyder and James Gunn are going to work on Crisis together, which I could see. That's a good point. Okay, so we do have one more DC topic. But yeah, I think we have a lot of good thoughts about the Batman stuff. So guys, as you know, CCXP is this weekend, and we've seen the Supergirl suit on display, and just like with the first Superman movie, we have heard that that basically the press will be shown a trailer, the first teaser for Supergirl on Sunday, but we should be looking at the trailer being released for public-wise on Monday, I'm hearing on Monday we could be getting footage of Supergirl. Lanterns, I don't know what we're going to get, Chris. We'll see. Because, they said it was going to come out in the summer. We'll see what they do. But Supergirl, I can't wait, man. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I've seen... What'd you say, Ken?
I was going to say, I'm super excited for Supergirl. I think Supergirl might be better than Superman.
I think it will be. I think it will be because as much as I love James Gunn, I think we need fresh blood in the game. And I think that bringing someone into the table that doesn't have the expectations of, oh, you did Guardians or this is your style, like someone that doesn't have that pressure on their shoulder, I think will be really cool to see what they do.
I think most people are going to relate more to Supergirl than Superman as well.
Yeah.
Because she seems, and I actually don't really know her well as a character, but just from her small appearance at the end of Superman, like a character, like she goes and she parties and like clearly lives on like, the whatever you want to call it, dangerous side or fun side, you know what I mean? Like of life, like edgy side, like takes risks, you know what I mean? Like people relate more to that than they relate to goody two shoes Superman.
I agree.
You know
I don't
what
think
I mean?
I don't think we have it up right, Chris. We'd have to look for it.
But still have that like emotional core, that core of like a good conscience, which I think is going to come through in the movie big time. You know what I mean? Even if she's making like bad decisions throughout it, like that's still going to shine through. Hope, all that.
1 second.
My only question or my concern, I would say, about Supergirl is that James Gunn has switched it where Kara is younger than Clark than usually
Right.
how the other way around, and supposedly it is mostly inspired by her Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, I think,
Yeah,
comic book specifically.
I've
And
heard.
that again, like you said, with her living on the edge, her drinking and party girl persona is her coping mechanism for the fall of Krypton. So it's very interesting on whether the whole, Kryptons aren't as good as you think they were with the whole voice memo twist with
Right.
Clark's parents, and it's like, okay, are you gonna keep elements of her having mourning her home, or is that gonna be something completely different now? Is she mourning something else? Or maybe because maybe it's a different play on how Clark's character arc went in with the movie, is that instead of him being like, "Oh, I'm human, I know where I belong on Earth," maybe it's the opposite for Kara, where she doesn't feel like she belongs anywhere, Krypton or Earth, and that's why we see her traveling through these different planets and being the party girl persona. And maybe that's the character arc that she goes through in the movie, where she finds a place that she calls home, and maybe that is Earth, or maybe it's some other planet. I don't know yet, but that's the only thing I'm kind of like iffy about when it comes to James Gunn's decisions. Because I think some
There's the
changes are
suit.
good, but there's also some things where it's like, okay, is this gonna work in the long run, or is this gonna cause problems in the future? But I am still optimistic about the Supergirl movie, and I do still think it will be good.
So
Oh yeah,
this is
that's
the
the suit.
that's the
Mhm.
suit that was shown at CCXP. So yeah, this is the suit. So I like it. I think it's good. I'm a fan of it.
There it is. I'm like, wait a.
It took a
Yeah, it was
minute.
a little blurry, but now it's clear. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So it looks good. Um, bro, that suit is perfect. Yeah, man. I know. It's a good suit. I'm glad they're still going with the skirt. I think skirt is classic Supergirl in my opinion. In Justice they had the pants and they've done a lot of things, but I just think the skirt is very, very
Mhm.
classic Supergirl, and I think it works. I think it's pretty cool. Oh, you love it too, AJ? Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
another thing is that the last leak set behind photos or video that was shown about this movie is her like coming out of a tank and her fighting some soldiers. And so maybe Supergirl also follows up on the whole the political aspect to the two countries fighting in the first Superman movie, because Hawkgirl, dropped the leader to his death, and then Superman intervened with the whole battle. So maybe it's a completely different military thing that's happening in her movie, or maybe she is just following up on what happened on Superman. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
I mean, it's possible. It's possible we could see something like that. I think that's gonna be cool. But I think
Netflix
we're pretty
owns
much
Lego.
yeah.
That's funny.
Lego now. Alright, so I'm gonna
With the
close this
Batman Lego
window
game
now.
coming out, it all makes sense now.
Yep, it all makes sense. So now I think we're ready to get into our next topic. Anybody else have any final thoughts on the Supergirl stuff? What we can expect from CPXP, DC wise? Any final thoughts?
Not really.
Yeah.
I'm
No.
sure we
Pretty
may
good,
come
yeah.
back to it at some point. It's
Yeah.
possible. But yeah, I think we're good. Moving on.
All right, what's our what? Yeah,
Mhm.
moving on.
All right. We're doing
It's Cosmic Invasion time.
yeah.
So, guys, Cosmic Invasion came out last week, and it's the latest. We're back in the era of getting those classic arcade beat 'em ups. So, and me and Luke played through the whole game last week. So, we have a detailed review.
Sure did.
we streamed 4 hours of that shit.
Yeah. Beat it in one play. It was good. It was good. Do I wish it had a little bit more difficulty to? I wish it you could unlock a harder difficulty. I do. But no, it's still a lot of fun. There's plenty to unlock, plenty to do. It thrives best as a multiplayer game. I have to say, playing it on my own is fun. But not as much fun as partying up and everybody comboing together. It's kind of easier to combo when there's more people in the party as well. You kind of have more fun in general. I think the more people you have to play it with.
That's very
Um,
true, Chris. You guys were doing awesome, especially during the Nihilus boss fight.
Yeah, no, that was. I liked the last boss fight a lot too.
It was
That was
good.
good.
It was good.
Yeah, I need to give it. I want to do another playthrough. I was playing it on arcade after I beat it on campaign, and in the campaign mode, it has you select paths through the campaign, but you actually have to do both of them before you can move on to the next section. And in arcade, it just chooses one of the two for you, and you just keep moving forward from there. But
That's pretty
it has you
sick.
play through the whole campaign. It only gives you like 4 lives, like 4 continues, classic arcade style. And I didn't actually get to the ending because I just didn't have the time when I was playing it. But like I don't know if it just has you continuously go through the campaign. It definitely amped up the difficulty in a way. And then there's free play modifiers as well. So I haven't really touched those, but there's a little bit more meat to dive into for me. I've played most of the game, but I still think it's good. I think it's if you like arcade games, you're gonna like this game. Is
Yeah,
it
I
as
think
good
it's
as
fun.
Shredder's? Sorry, Joe. I don't mean to keep cutting you off.
No, I think it's I think it's fun. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. As the question is it as good as Shredder's Revenge? I think that it lacks replayability, so I think that kind of is an issue. But
Yeah, it definitely lacks some. It definitely has replayability, just not to the extent that Turtles does. I think.
yeah,
Shredder's
Turtles actually
Revenge is
had
just
like one of the things about
so
Shredder's
good.
Revenge that I like is that when they did DLC, and obviously we'll probably get DLC eventually, but Shredder's Revenge actually they had what do they call it? Like this game, Cosmic Invasion has obviously arcade, but they had a survival mode in Shredder's Revenge where you could go to like Dimension X and different places and play all the different characters and challenge yourself quite a bit more. I do want DLC bosses like Loki, Carnage, Apocalypse, and Doctor Doom. Yeah, that'd be cool if they do that. All right, no worries. Yeah, like I'd like more DLCs. I really need to see
There are
more
DLCs
DLCs.
coming. I mean, there's going to be more playable characters. There's going to be some kind of like, some new storyline they give you. I really want Cyclops. That's the one disappointment I have with the game is I didn't get my Cyclops. I wanted my Cyclops. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
we all wanted Cyclops. There's other characters I think we needed in this game that we didn't get. Cyclops was definitely one of them. But yeah, no, I want more characters. I want more bosses. I feel like we didn't have enough bosses in the game. I feel like we had a few, but I feel like we could have had more. Like, I feel like the build up to a Nihilus, it could have been a little longer, and then we could have had like a couple more big threats, and then build into a Nihilus. I think that would have been cool. But I do like the characters we got. I think X-Men storyline with Apocalypse would work in this arcade style.
Oh yeah, that would totally work.
That'd be
I
awesome.
mean, you could do any of these big X-Men storylines. You could do that. You could do what's one with Magneto and Professor X? God, oh my God, I can't remember the name of him. Onslaught. You could totally do Onslaught. You could do tons of stuff.
You could definitely do Onslaught.
Oh yeah, be fun. Give us a DC game like this too. Be Showdown.
Yeah, I would love a DC game like this. I think it'd be sick. I would be totally down for that. I think that's super cool. I'm 100% on board for more and more games like this. I mean, yeah, in general, more arcade games like this. I think I know we got a He-Man one coming out next year. That should be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. And Terminator 2. Terminator 2 D No Fate is coming out on December 12th. I've been so pumped for this game, man. Oh my God.
How are you going to decide, man? December 12th is going to be a big day for you. How are you going to decide between, hey, I want to play Rogue in Marvel Rivals, and now I got to go play Terminator?
I'll switch between the two. But honestly, I'll let other people play Rogue day one. I don't need much of it. I can wait a little bit and let
you got to try it out.
Have their because it's like everyone's fighting over trying to play the new character. I'm not always about that. I do like to try it out a bit, but yeah, I kind of go like that.
I hear you. So 2D Fate, so excited. Yeah, man, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. It looks fun. All right, so is that all we have to say about Cosmic Invasion?
Yeah, Kenna, what do you have to say?
Boo! I don't like the game. Boo!
It's not her kind of
Have
game.
I played it? No, that's why I hate it. Boo!
Yeah.
She's a hater. She's a hater. She don't like Cosmic Invasion.
Damn.
Boo! 0. 0 out of 10. 0 out of
Ouch.
10. All of them. All the games are bad. All of them.
Dead.
Every single one. All of them. I'm just kidding.
She's teasing.
Ouch.
That hurts. That hurts.
No. If you enjoyed Cosmic Invasions, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. It is not my kind of game. What? Anyways.
You had to pull the sound
However, here's
effect
the
off.
thing. I did play Marvel vs. Capcom when that came out at Joey's. He was streaming that. That is fun. I do like arcade beat 'em ups. I think they are fun. But personally for me, the reason why I'm not really drawn to getting them on my own console is that I am alone. And it's just not as fun doing it mostly online. I do prefer it if it's like me and somebody else in the same room.
I get that.
And also, like you said earlier, Cosmic Invasions didn't seem to have that really good replay ability, and that's like the one thing that I think every game should have to a certain extent is have the ability to feel like you can replay it more than once. And yeah, no, I think it's just like a fine game, but it's nothing worthwhile. But
I really enjoy. Chris asked me this question. I really enjoy the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. It was a good birthday gift to buy myself. I've enjoyed playing it. I think it's been fun. I really like the Punisher minigame. I think it's fun.
I think that's better than from what I've seen of Cosmic Invasions, the Capcom collection, because it seems to be there's. I know that I asked you guys this when
No,
you
that
were
makes
streaming
sense.
it if there's more modes, and there is kinda right in Invasions. There's the main story mode, and then maybe there's something else, or unless
The arcade mode, it's the same thing essentially.
Right.
but
Yeah, see, that's kind of like right? The replayability isn't there, but Capcom
But that's a
collection definitely
collection of
has.
multiple games. That's the whole thing. So yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
It's
like
hard to compare a little bit.
6 versus 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun game. I think I enjoy both. I like the collection.
Mhm.
I like Cosmic Invasion because it takes me back to a simpler time, and you get to see.
Oh,
some,
the nostalgia. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
and
my
you just-
god, the nostalgia though. When you're playing this game, you feel like a kid again. That's
That's
the
how they
really
trap
cool.
you.
Yeah.
That's how they
it's-
get you.
I mean, it's fun, man. We're having so much fun. You get your friends
Yeah.
over, have a couple
I'm
beers.
happy
Let's
that
go,
you're,
man.
that you're happy. That is my take.
That's
Okay.
wonderful. Well, that's wonderful. All
Not
right,
a real Marvel fan.
fake fan.
No,
Dang.
I'm a fake. No, I like my sexy Marvel
yeah,
rivals.
You're right.
Yeah.
You need to amp up the Marvel FOMO.
I can't force myself. I can't do it.
I need
I
all the
bought-
skins. That's good
I
enough.
just spent my money on the Psylocke skin. I can't do
Oh,
it
yeah.
anymore.
You need to get that
I
Venom
can't-
skin.
Oh
Cheeked
God,
up
no.
on a Tuesday afternoon.
Caked up on a Tuesday. Crazy.
Yeah, that's what
It's
it
It's
a
a
is.
shame that
shame
you didn't grow
Kenna
up in-
didn't grow up in the 90s like
I
us.
don't know. I'm pretty happy being an 2000 baby. I'm pretty happy. 90s is cool, but I'm also don't have FOMO like that. And also, we are lucky we're in the age that we do have the ability to kind of go back.
Right.
want,
Well,
like,
you
these
had
games.
people that got to show you this stuff.
That is
we
true. That's
grew up
very
with.
different. Not everybody
That's-
has the same
Not everybody
experience
has
as me.
that. Right.
Right. Because even though I
So-
am Gen Z, I have my family members have kept me in the loop of other things.
Yeah,
And not
for
everybody
sure.
has that, so.
For sure, we've all kept each other in the loopity loop. I didn't grow up in the 90s. Oh, I know, Chosen.
You guys are
Here's
so
what you
old.
choose.
You're ancient. You're
I'm
unk.
big bro.
You're
Not unk. Big bro. Get
You're
Right.
unk.
That's crazy. All right,
Yeah, so
so moving
that's-
on then.
that's that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, but not everybody wants to play it.
We need more DLCs. Make it happen.
Okay, that's my thing, is that I think the game, this is kind of, I guess, my hot takes with all games. I think every game should be enough the first release, or good enough on its first release, and doesn't have to rely on DLCs to make it better. Kind of like director's cuts on movies. That's how I feel.
It's a fair
That's
take.
That's just how.
I mean, they're just gonna try to give more people more money, more downloadable content. It's just a part of the business.
Yep, how it works. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
throw us at it. The next topic.
I
Let's
feel
go.
bad I forgot to change the banner at the bottom like that whole time on that topic, but it is what it is. We're getting new to it. It's a new format here. All right, so next topic. Yep.
Good time.
You
All
got
right.
uh,
So McKenna and me saw Zootopia 2 on, I think it was Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, so we always are loving to go out to the theaters, especially on bargain day. And we both liked the first film, so I'm gonna have Kenna take this one away because I think Kenna will have less things to say than me, most likely. But we'll see.
Well,
Resident, she's also my resident animated expert. So
animated expert, yeah. So, what I will say, what I really liked about Zootopia 2 is that it does do good callbacks on the first one, like the bootleg animal Disney movies that they have the weasels selling, and a lot of other Disney references too, like Lady and the Tramp, and oh god, there was something else that I don't remember, but yeah, the Disney bootleg movies. Oh, there's a joke, they make a meta joke about the studios, or about the industry, where it's like, you're Disney, but also you're the animated house of Disney, which is very different from the live action remake side of Disney. So I guess it's okay that you can make that meta joke. They explore more of the relationship between Judy Hopps, the rabbit, and Nick Wilde, the fox, on the first movie. I will say it's hard because it's a kids movie, right? So everything has to be a little surface level, but they like use therapy with each other. And they use like therapy lingo with each other, and that's where I'm kind of like about like the way that they use it. I'm like but also I understand why they're using it the way that they did, because it's very simple and it's very it's between two animals that talk to each other.
yeah.
I don't know if I like this more than the first one. I think the first one kind of has the better story, because this one is just reheated nachos, but it's different enough where it doesn't feel like you're watching the same movie, but the plot lines are pretty similar to the first one, but it's still enjoyable. There's a lot of good voice actor work. I think the jokes are funnier in the second one than the first movie. I'll give it that. There's a fallout between the two main characters, and I think the falling out between the Judy and Nick are better in the second movie than their first fallout in the first movie, because there's more of the emotional depth, because we already know that these characters have been working together for a while.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Yeah, just a solid sequel overall. But nothing super special or grand. I don't know if I would recommend seeing it in theaters. I think it is one of those movies where, unless you want to go see it with the family, of course, it's a good movie to go see in theaters. But if you're just wanting to watch it solo or with another buddy of yours, I think it is best to wait until it is on streaming. But, yeah, just a solid movie overall. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's a pretty good sequel, but it's nothing totally jaw-dropping. But it was good. It's been a good animated Disney movie that we've had for a while. I'll give it that. It's better than Wish, which I think was the last thing, or what, Lightyear. Like it's definitely more enjoyable than that. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's a fair take. I'm kind of on the opposite end. I like this sequel a lot more because I feel like the first movie did a good job of establishing certain things, but I feel like the villain twist in the first movie was very predictable, and I think in this movie, the way they use the villains, I think is really good.
I will say, I agree in the sense that I like the villains more in the second one. However, they're not really
utilized
there.
well. Yeah.
They're not really there as much as the first villain.
Yeah, that's one of my criticisms of this movie is that they don't get as much screen time as the other villains in the first movie. And like they're in the movie and they're doing things, but they kind of have to rely on plot devices to move the needle to where things are going, and that's kind of upsetting.
It is a very simple story, which isn't bad, But I do think if you wanted to make a sequel about Zootopia and expand the world of the, Animal Kingdom, essentially, they could have done something maybe a little crazier or more creative.
Yeah, I think
it's
they
still
could
not
have done
bad.
something. Yeah, I
It's
still
not the
think,
worst.
Yeah, for me, I would say I'm probably at about probably an 8.5 for me because I really liked it. I think like my only nitpick isn't that bad. I feel it's really just like, hey, it's solid. It's a good sequel. I really liked that there's a new animal in this movie that is played by a very fun little voice actor that people know from a popular TV show, and I think that I think that he was great, and I think that our main characters are great. I like their development, and I like some of the struggles and the fun times, and yeah, I like Zootopia too. Is it in my top 5 of the year? No, but I enjoyed it. But that was fun. It was good for a $5 movie.
Yeah, it was good enough. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Very simple. Very just a simple sequel. I think, I'm torn. I know that I just said it's probably a movie that you should wait until it's on Disney Plus, but also I feel like even though it is a sequel, you should try your best to see it in theaters if you can, to give money, because it's trying to you're showing Disney that you want more animated stuff and less of the live action remakes. But again, it's a double-edged sword because it's sequel, and people are thinking, oh, you want a sequel like Toy Story 5, so it's very rough right now when it comes to the animation in Disney's side. But there's more hope, I would say, with DreamWorks and Laika Studios. Even though DreamWorks is doing Shrek 5, I think that'll be something though, because of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That was such a great movie. Despite it being in the Shrek franchise universe, that was such a good, refreshing take and a really good movie that I do have some hope for Shrek 5 if they follow in that footsteps. And this is something that only I would know, really, but Laika Studios, which is the stop-motion animated studio that made, Coraline, Box Trolls, Paranorman, they're making a new movie right now called, I think it's something called Wood Kid, so that will be fun to see more stop-motion animation movies that we haven't gotten in a while, so I'm excited about that. I just think, unfortunately, Disney is in a rough spot because while we still love the old Disney and all the classic movies, and sometimes they do come out with really good projects, it's also, again, we don't love the corporate side of Disney right now, so it's really hard to juggle between the two. But that's just my overall take.
I don't know why it's not. Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out real quick.
That's why I think everyone should watch Knights of Guinevere on YouTube if you haven't yet. It's a sci-fi thriller fantasy animated pilot on YouTube, and it's created by Dana Terrence, who got fired from Disney or had to quit from Disney because they wouldn't let her finish her show. And so basically she made this another show with another studio called Glitch Productions. And the animated show, while it's different, it has its own story, it takes some jabs at Disney as a company. So I recommend it to everybody because it's free on YouTube. And I think the second episode is coming actually sometime this month, maybe, hopefully, but that might change. So it's just what I've been into lately. No one has said anything.
Oh, that what they said? That's kind of cool.
Well, I mean, I thought about going to. I thought about being like, maybe I'll watch Zootopia and see Zootopia 2 and surprise them and be like, I'm going to talk about it too.
Yeah.
Like, favorite movie of the year. But I just didn't have the time.
It's peak.
Yeah.
It's peak.
I fell into other stuff, like Dune 2.
No. I think it just depends on who you are as a person. Again, like, it's better to wait that it's on, like, whatever streaming service, Disney Plus or however else you watch your movies, to watch at home. But also, again, like I said earlier, if you want to have more actual animated projects from Disney, you should go see it in theaters so that you can show
support
that. Yeah. But I do think actually it's doing really well. I think it made more money than Wicked for Good. So.
Oh wow.
Which is surprising. Yeah, which is surprising.
Yeah. So it's definitely not. It's definitely not a situation where like no one is seeing it. It's making enough money, but again, Either, yeah, so. And again,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, it's different because it's like, it's animated, which is good, but it's also a sequel. So it's like Disney's like, oh, you want more animated projects, but you want more animated sequels. So you get Toy Story 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10, and then the live action version. So
Don't
It's
give them
just hard.
ideas. Let's not give them ideas. Let's see. Maybe they'll take the hit. Maybe Toy Story 5 will bomb so bad that
Crisis
the-
on
the-
Pixar and Disney planets.
gosh,
The
hey, what's up?
convergence is happening.
What's
worlds
up,
are
Brandon?
colliding.
Shrek and like Woody and Buzz and Wreck-It Ralph and all these
Mhm.
characters, you know.
They're just gonna make like a Pizza Planet movie crossover. They're just gonna have everyone on like Pizza Planet is like instead of it being the pizza restaurant, it's gonna be like an actual planet. You have everyone.
Oh, that's another thing too about more animation projects. Despite, Disney is definitely not in a good spot, there's still, Spider-Verse Beyond or Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, that's in the works. That will be the third installment in the Spider-Verse finale.
What up, Brandon?
K-pop Demon Hunters did so good that they're gonna do a sequel to that. And also, oh god, what's the other thing? I just had it in my brain and then I lost it.
Yeah, those are other companies though. Don't give the other companies
I
credit.
know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, animation has a lot more hope in general, even though Disney is kind of not doing so hot right now. But on the different sides, animation has been going well.
Lucy Pizza
What was the
Planet.
third thing? K-pop Demon Hunters, Spider-Verse. Oh, there was another thing.
There was
Now I can't
another
remember.
animated thing. Okay.
I swear to God, there was. Well, I guess it will depend on what DreamWorks will do after Shrek 5. If they're gonna do a Shrek 6, or they're gonna do a Puss in Boots 2 or 3. Actually, yeah, Puss in Boots 3 because it's Puss in Boots, The Last Witch, and then whatever.
Well, you gotta
Or
think
maybe
they
they
gotta
do something
do.
completely new. I don't know.
That
They
could
probably
happen.
will do. They probably will do a Puss in Boots 3 just because I think the second movie was such a
What's,
hit.
what's the first villain's name again?
In which movie?
Shrek.
Shrek.
Lord
In the first movie
Farquaad?
it was Lord Farquaad. Yeah.
Yeah, give us a prequel.
A prequel to Farquaad? Somehow, Lord Farquaad returned.
That'd be interesting. That'd be
He
very
hasn't
interesting.
left yet. Right?
Well, actually, if you watch the Halloween special of Shrek that they used to have on Netflix, they bring him back as a ghost, and then they defeat his ghost. And
That's
it's
amazing.
canon, by the way. It's canon in the Shrek.
She's like it's canon.
Shrek verse.
That's amazing.
So,
What's better than Shrek? Like, really?
what's better than Prince of Egypt?
What's more
Which- that's-
American than Shrek?
It's more American. That's hilarious. So I guess that's
Oh.
all for the animated movie topic.
Yeah, probably. That's all
Yeah.
I got on Zootopia, too. That's for sure.
It was enjoyable. I had a good time.
I'm glad you guys liked it. Maybe one
You
day.
should have been boo. I'm just kidding.
I
didn't see the movie.
Boo.
Luke's a respectable human being. He's nice.
Princess Bride. Boo.
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 What do you think of rumored news that Netflix bought? Meaning they. Oh yeah, we covered that in the beginning of the show, Brandon. We just gotta wait and see what they do with it. I mean, it
Are we back?
Hey.
Are
Oh,
we
no,
back
it's-
to Netflix and DC now?
oh no, it's it's back
And
to
I did
it's
the
back.
same thing with the caption again. I didn't switch
Oh,
it
no.
over to Zootopia 2 the whole
Uh-oh.
time.
Now you gotta
man.
switch it to Welcome to Derry.
Now I'm a bad live editor. Yeah, I
It's
know. And we got-
it's back to Luke's favorite thing now.
You're fired. You're fired.
Okay, hold on.
I remember when there was a Shrek 4D ride. Yay! We're talking about Luke's favorite thing, guys. Luke is
Welcome
the
to
latest part. Luke is the latest person in the party to finally see episode 4, and
I just
yes,
watched
very-
it. 6.
yes,
Episode
you mean
6.
episode 6.
Shouldn't we talk about 5? Because we didn't get to do 5.
We didn't do 5. That's
Oh,
right.
we
We're
didn't
We
get
need
to
to
talk
talk
about
about 5
5.
and 6. So 5 first.
Yeah, we'll
5
talk about
first.
episode 5. So we're gonna do this as
Five's
a double
all right.
feature.
That's gonna be funny. So, episode 5 is my favorite episode of the show.
Mine too.
Like, I
It's the
love
best one
episode 5.
so far.
It's so good. And it's what they go into the sewers, like, you know, you got your and sorry guys, we're gonna get into spoilers for episode 5 and 6
Cover,
right now.
kiddos.
Yeah. Like the kids being in the sewer at the same time as the adults, lining up the way they did, and then, you know, the father taking out his partner, Polly, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Rip.
I'm a loss for names right now. My God. But yeah, it was just really good, man. Like, easily one of like the best, probably the best episode. I wouldn't say it had the best scares. I still think
Yeah.
episode 2 with being inside the womb, whole thing is probably like the most horrific the show's gotten, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really like that scene, but there are also scenes that I really like in episode 5 that hit on a psychological horror way that maybe not like jump scares or it creeps you out so much. But like the scene specifically with Halloran and him falling in the water, and then, you know, he's inside his mind and it is inside his mind, and it's about him speaking like telepathically with his grandmother and his grandfather coming in the room and like wanting them to open the box, and like he slowly turns into like it, and his face like deforms and he starts laughing and he breaks the lock and opens the box. And seeing that this is kind of the 2 episode review, I'm not going to get into 6 yet. I'll let you guys talk about 5 first, but like 6 addresses all these things obviously, but this is the plot line for me that like is really what intrigued me more than anything in the show so far, was just this like tie in to The Shining with Halloran.
Yeah.
Right. And like them actually diving further into that with the whole referencing the box. I haven't even seen Dr. Sleep, but when this episode came out, I read a review on it and it mentioned all this stuff about Dr. Sleep and how, you know, Halloran like taught Danny to make this box the same way that he's saying his grandmother taught him to make the box. And
Yeah.
I just think it's so cool the way they're connecting things for the Stephen King universe right now. It's not in your face. It's not like, this is The Shining.
It's not like the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the MCU, but I think the MCU should kind of be like that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Like, and Stephen King shouldn't, and they're just doing it right. And this feels like the true beginning of like a good product of something from Stephen King and a universe building towards that. And it makes me more excited towards other Stephen King projects, whether I'm crazy about Welcome to Derry or not. It's got quality, I can't deny. There's parts of it I very much like. Episode 6 might be a little bit of a different story, but I'll let you guys do your takes on 5.
Episode 5 was really good. I love it when so obviously spoilers, when it was revealed that Maddie was alive in the tent, at first before they showed Maddie's face, I totally thought it was Pennywise in the tent, and that's what I've been asking for since like episode 1 of the show, was like, yes, Pennywise is this deity that can take so many forms, but I think what makes the clown the scariest is when he's just kind of chilling there, or he hasn't done anything crazy monstrous, but he's making the characters uncomfortable. He's being uncanny, like just creepy. And so for him to just be in the tent in their little hideout, like their safe space, because it just shows that nowhere for them is safe, even they're in their own homes, which is the unsaid, I think, scariest aspect about it, rather than more of just the forms that he takes
Sure.
on.
You never know. You never know.
There's no
and
safe place.
I feel so dumb looking back at that scene too,
Mhm.
of like, of course it was it. You know what I mean?
I
Like
was
he
like-
showed up out of nowhere in the tent. Like, I'm so
Right.
dumb.
Hi,
Okay.
Jake. Welcome to the stream.
Oh,
my
we can
take,
actually
my take on
see you, buddy. Cool.
yeah, my take is that when they showed his hand, I thought, oh, this is Pennywise in the tent. And then it revealed to Maddie, and I'm like, is this even real? And then all the characters started talking to him like he was real. So I'm like, okay, maybe he did survive. maybe for some reason he let go of Maddie or somehow Maddie escaped. And then they went back into the sewers and then he started swinging around the pole and I'm like, oh, of course, it is Pennywise. I was right the first time, but I was kind of on the mixture of like, oh, this is definitely it, luring them in, or it's, Maddie somehow actually did survive. But I thought that reveal was great. Like you said earlier, I would say, I think it's hard because it's a TV show, right? They have a TV show budget. The CGI on some of the forms aren't the best, especially the Uncle Sam form. I think that one is really bad, which is a shame because that could have been really good. That could have actually, well, I think my thing is like the military.
The idea was there.
The idea was there, but I think knowing Pennywise to work on somebody's fear, the military is already so traumatizing that I think it could really have done mess up scenes or whatever visions to them compared to just an Uncle Sam being like, I want you to join. It's not, it's a little too silly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Lily's dad reappearing in the sewers was good. That looked good because it was short. I think that's the thing. Because it's a TV show budget, when it takes on a form that's not the Light or Pennywise the Clown, and it's like a kind of monstrous looking thing, maybe if it's a shorter shot, you can't really see the mistakes on there.
Yeah,
it's quick.
Right.
My thing, this kind of leans into episode 6, even though Lily's dad looked good in episode 5 in the sewers. We need another new scary thing for her. It can't just be her dad's dead body. It's getting old.
Joe
it's not
was saying
scary
that
anymore.
to me, and I get why after watching episode 6. But I also just what else are you gonna do to Lily? You know what I mean? These are kids. They only have so much trauma. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
Or take on a form of a doctor or a nurse that was at Juniper Hill with her that
That would
maybe
be cool.
abused her.
That's why you wanted to
know,
go back there so bad, huh?
I know. I'm like, please, Juniper Hill, please. That's what I really liked about the opening of episode 6. I think episode 6 had a really good opening, and then the rest of the episode kind of fumbled. I liked how we saw younger, Mrs. Kirsch, Ingrid, and she worked there. And
right.
and I liked how they kind of implied that because she's so desperate to see her dad again, she gives the kids to Pennywise. I think that's how I interpret it. I think that's heavily implied. They don't really show it, but yeah, that's what I like. It's very interesting.
I am not about that.
You're not about that?
No, I'm not. I don't know. It's probably a part of the book or something, and I don't know it. But I can
believe it because this isn't the first time that Pennywise he didn't kill someone, but he definitely used them. In the original movies, he used Henry Bowers to carry on his acts of murder. So I think that's the same thing he's doing with Ingrid in a way of oh, you want to see your dad again? Give me more kids to feed on. I think that's kind of that. And I also, obviously, she's not going to last that long. I didn't realize this at first, but in It Too, if you remember where Beverly goes to her old home and it's this old lady, that's old Ingrid. But that's obviously Pennywise taking as a form of older Ingrid, so obviously something's gonna happen to her, or she, dies of old age somehow, and
Well, he probably eventually just eats her. He probably eventually just decides, now you've done what I wanted, now I'm gonna eat you. I feel like that's.
Well, how that's what happened with her dad. He ate her dad and then took on the form of Pennywise the Clown because her dad was the original Pennywise.
Yep.
The Clown. And we get to see a little trailer of that for the next episode. I saw that clip before I watched episode 6, so I was hoping that would be in episode 6, but that scene clip was for episode 7. So I do think episode 7 will pick up the pace that 6 did not.
You'd hope so.
Episode 5 was so good. Yeah, episode 5 was so good that I just think episode 6 feels kind of there. It very, it sets up some things, but it doesn't do anything crazy. It also just wasn't that entertaining in general, besides the very first opening, I would say.
Yeah, when Will gets hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually, that's oh, wow, no, it's taking over the minds of people. Like, this is
They're
good.
becoming hatred, yeah.
Yeah, and Charlotte leaves, and that's good. Well, before we fully dive into 6, do you have any thoughts on 5, Joe?
Yeah, I really liked episode 5 because I've been waiting to see how they handled Pennywise's proper entrance to the show, and I really like how the scene, especially it's genius for him to go and lure them into the sewers, and like there's so many signs, obviously, that there was something wrong with Maddie and that it was clearly Pennywise, but it's just the fact when that scene happens, when he gets down there and lures them, he starts singing, and then you literally get the transitions between him singing and then going. And like, even though the military stuff was interesting, I liked his interaction with the kids because that was the first time he really, like, other than bothering them with his other forms, that was the first time he got to interact with each of the kids, and he only really got to interact with Lily because everyone else ran away from him.
Mhm.
But I liked how, like, you know, we're seeing a show with Pennywise. We're gonna get new dialogue with Pennywise that we didn't get in the other movies, and I like how we're getting things like the moment that he wants the kids to run because he wants to chase, he wants to hunt for his food, because he wants to develop that fear. I love the duck and cover, kiddos, and then he just goes and like after them. I thought that was great. And then the scene where he sneaks up on Lily because the kids are so scared. They leave Lily like basically in the sewer alone, and then you have like him tormenting her, like going like I'm trying to say how to word this, where he's like, you couldn't save old Maddie, tasty Maddie boy, and then he literally just starts taunting her even more, and like, you brought all your friends to see me, you're such a good friend, and then the transition from you're such a good friend but such a bad daughter was just done perfectly. I thought that transition was very good, and like I said, yeah, I like episode 5, easily the best episode of the season. Loved where things went. It was tragic what happened to Polly, and it was also,
That's
you
so
know,
sad.
all those soldiers, man, they all got eaten up, and it was intense, and I liked how they set up the Halloran stuff for episode 6. I think that was good.
To play off about what you said about the Pennywise reveal, another thing that I really liked about episode 5, now this is, I will say, this one is also like a good example of being like actually having some sort of a creep factor. It's gonna sound messed up, but I liked seeing the kids' corpses in the water when they all found them out. Where it's like, oh my god, that's like I don't
Right.
remember their names.
That's
I was
them
like,
dedicating
oh my god, it's Maddie. Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
so and so.
those are
like,
the details.
That was good.
That's cool. I like
Mhm.
that too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I like that they literally saw it when they saw all the dead kids. Like, literally, you're like, oh yeah, that's this. And then I love the timing of like when they look and he starts singing, and then he looks, and then Lily freaks out, and Lily's like, that's Maddie. And then she looks down, and then literally then he starts.
And so
going.
also another thing that's gonna sound a little messed up, but it's also like I liked how they weren't just basic dead corpses. Like you could see where Pennywise took a bite out of them, or how he killed them.
They actually paid attention to even finer details, not just No, that's
not just like, oh, there's the
that's
dead
not even
guys.
something I noticed, but that's something you tend to notice on rewatches as well, which is something that makes something more rewatchable, you know. So I definitely like Welcome to Derry has quality, even though I'm not crazy about episode 6 and things they do, and I think they start to fumble some of the juggling of the storylines a little bit. And I don't know, like this kid's playing drums like he's about to be in his own movie. Like, I don't know, like he's like one of the most talented kid drummers I've ever seen, and I don't know. Like,
before we get fully into episode 6, so like you said, the juggling of plots, it's like the balance isn't there, because I'm like, okay, Ronnie's dad is having an affair with Ingrid for some reason, and then it never gets really brought up again. And that's another thing. When Joey was recapping episode 5, I realized I totally thought, like, I think episode 6, I feel like it just cuts, because it's like, okay, you had the kids running away, because the kids and Lily get separated in the sewers, because that's where Leroy almost shot his son, but Lily is with the Shard and Pennywise. And I thought it was going to be like Lily's still stuck in the sewer, but the kids are out. But like no, it just cuts to them being back out, and then they have a fight, and
Well,
it's just like
she has the thing with her, so she should be
right.
alright
She has this
getting
thing of
back
their.
out.
I get that, but like I thought maybe she would somehow meet up with another character, or maybe she didn't know
Yeah.
her way back out the sewers. Maybe like I thought of something, and also I mean I'm sure we'll see more in episode 7, but it's like Taniel. I was like, where's Taniel? What happened? Like I don't know. I just felt like
Oh yeah, yeah.
episode
Where's that
6
storyline? That'll
Yeah.
come back though, because
will.
we didn't get much of like we didn't get what's this Shaw whatsoever in 6.
right.
We heard about him a little bit, but like, and he clearly still wants to find the pillars. That's what Leroy was telling us, right? Telling Halloran, and but so I feel like they'll come back into it probably in the next episode. I don't know, but what I found weird about the stone or whatever it's called, I
yeah,
forget.
the shard.
The shard is like she tries to use it in episode 6 when her dad
yeah,
appears in
It's
the
in
desk,
a desk. Yeah.
and it's like it's not really working. You know what I mean? Like, is that maybe because it's starting to overpower like the shard, even because he's becoming more and more powerful right now? I think that's one thing that 6 is trying to establish, where it's like Leroy hits his son. Like there's
Mhm.
people that are adults in the town that are like genuinely being affected.
I do
by
think that's
it.
what they're doing, because how do you explain in a prequel show that has established artifacts that's supposed to take down it, and then you don't have that in the movie, which is set in the future, right? It's
Yeah.
it's like okay,
Yeah.
so obviously
Where's
yeah,
that shard?
Yeah, what-
like
wait,
when
they
you
have the
if you
shards,
watch the
lose-
prequels before the movies, and then you
Yeah.
watch the movie, and you're like, "Where's all that stuff?"
Yeah, the
from the
loser clubs have
prequels.
nothing. Yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
they're definitely setting up either the shards just don't work, or they get destroyed or lost, and like something will make sense of
Right.
it.
That would be
Um,
cool.
I just think, yeah, I will say, what I did like though, I guess what I only really like about episode 6 is the Ingrid stuff. Ingrid stuff.
But
the
like, I
opening
feel
in
like
her-
6 made it so Ingrid doesn't really make sense as a character anymore. Like, okay, so she's helping
Lily.
not even just
Or-
Lily.
Pennywise.
And,
yeah.
No, what's his face?
Oh.
Ronnie's dad.
Ronnie's dad, right.
I forget his name right
Yeah,
now.
me too.
But like, she seems like a good person,
Hmm.
like very much so. And then her husband is this terrible person, right? But
Mhm.
then like, okay, now we're flipping the switch, and you like love Pennywise or it, and like you're because of your father, and you're like cool, the kid's going, but like just like where does like you being with a black man like come in to play? Where I just don't.
Well, how
No-
did they?
none of it, I
even
feel like,
meet?
adds
there's
up.
there was no build up to their affair, unless that's the thing where in the earlier episode where the dad was still in the cell before he went on that bus, he was like, well, where were you at 11:30 p.m.? Because we know he wasn't at the theater when the kids died, but he was out doing something, and I think that's implied that he was out with her somewhere.
Right.
And
And maybe
also,
he's involved. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I don't
Maybe.
The
Right?
thing is like, and also my thing is like, she's like, Lily tells her that she saw it, and she's like proud of her, right? And I think that's more she wants to pass the torch to Lily to be the next person who brings the kids to Pennywise, or it's like, oh, you survived, so that means you're, I don't know, you're lucky, or you're like, I don't know how it's gonna set up.
Huh.
I did see an interesting theory
I
actually.
like that perspective though, of like
Yeah.
passing the torch. I didn't think about that. That's cool.
Mhm. I did see an interesting theory of like, again, I'm always like, I want Juniper Hill. I want Lily to go back to Juniper
Yeah.
Hill. Or but I saw an interesting theory of like, okay, some of these kids will live, some of these kids will die, or these kids will live, but they'll be severely traumatized. Something, messed up will happen to them, and they'll never be the same. I saw an interesting theory of like Lily getting lobotomized. Maybe that would be an interesting ending.
Somebody
for her.
we care about is getting lobotomized in this show. Like at some point. I don't know when. It might not even be this season. but it's gonna happen. Like eventually. That's what these kind of shows love to do. It's 60s. It's people. Are you
Lobotomized.
crazy? People,
Yeah.
Are you crazy?
Are you crazy? Let's
someone's-
remove your frontal lobe right here. Yeah.
It's gonna.
I think that might
Lily.
happen
It's
with-
definitely adding up to be Lily, but it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me if they totally like curveball you with it and do somebody else. I don't know, because like in the intro, it's a black kid, right?
Mhm.
Like getting it done to him. And
Oh
then,
no,
like,
that's a white. No, you're talking about the intro. No, that's some white kid,
Is
and
it?
they're
Oh,
looking in
okay,
his
I got-
like they're looking in his eyeball. They have something in his eyeball.
Oh, I thought
yes,
it
the
was
black
like they were
spot
trying
fire.
to lobotomize him.
No, it looked his mouth was open, but they had like some needle going to his
I thought
eye.
he
I
was
don't know.
screaming.
Yeah.
They were gonna, because you have to put it
Chosen
between their eye
brought up the
sockets.
black
That's
spot.
the whole thing. They have to like hammer it. That's the first
Well,
thing you
isn't-
do.
I don't know. Chosen brought up the black spot fire, so that's definitely going to be a setup, and that's brought up. There's a fire in a building is set on fire in the intro. I think that's a different thing, but that's definitely a nod to the big fire that killed Mike's parents in the first It movie. So that's definitely like a big thing. And also there's another thing that they brought up too that I'm kind of waiting. They might do it probably season 3 finale, that Pennywise, before he goes to sleep for the next 27 years, the Native Americans said that he does one big massacre. He takes some little people, like some people eats them like snacks, but then he does this big massacre before he goes back to sleep.
I
So
think that's
maybe-
going to be the Bradley gang murder. That's
The
what I
Bradley
think. Yeah. So I think
Oh,
will
is
be
that the
big...
one with the guns in the
Yeah,
intro?
yeah. I think that's what they'll probably do. Because I think that's the one where he kills the most people. Where
Mhm.
I don't know
Dude,
why he gets
Pennywise
involved.
shooting a gun is such a funny concept to me. You he has so much power. And then I just love in the intro you see him outside of the window and he's leaning and he literally he's just in it for the love of the
with
game.
like Tommy gun
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, he's just in it for the love of the game. So I think that's funny. No, but I actually would love to see that though, just because sometimes you don't need to be doing. That's the thing. Is like sometimes I feel like Pennywise be doing too much. So at the end of the day, maybe just a simple gun will do, and you'll get what you need from the its perspective.
I think this is interesting about what AJ said. Did you see what AJ said about
Oh
John
yes,
Cena
I
and
did hear.
Dwayne
I
The Rock
did hear about
Johnson
this.
will reportedly have a death match to determine who will control DC Studios after Netflix purchases Warner Brothers. John Cena will represent James Gunn. The Rock will represent Zack Snyder. The hierarchy of the DC universe is about to change.
The hierarchy of the DC is about to change.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
But no, back
If
to
that's
Yeah.
real, that's
Like,
crazy.
like, I think The Rock would win that. I'm not gonna lie. I think The Rock would go ape shit crazy and just be like, "I need this," and like, just like,
You
I
don't
think-
want to. You don't want to count out
Will
John
and
Cena
Mike.
though. John Cena is pretty tough, man. You don't want to count him
Nah,
out.
definitely, I definitely think he is, but I
Mhm.
just don't think he would care as much about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's too chill. He's too
Chosen,
cool.
I actually think
right?
we won't see major characters die. Maybe near the end of 7, but I also see 8. 8 being the big finale of season 1. Where
Sometimes
they
7
just
is
kill...
the big episode, though.
That is true.
Instead, and then 8's kind of like the wind down cliffhanger at the end. Like,
Right.
all right, you know what I mean? But who knows? You could be right too. It could.
Yeah, it
I
could
think
go
it could go
either
either way.
Yeah. I just like I'm really into Welcome to Derry. I think it's a pretty good show. It's just not scary enough yet. It's like you said
Yeah.
earlier, despite it being, it's supposed to be a horror show with drama elements, but it's more of a drama show with horror elements.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but that's not what it's trying to be.
Right. That's not what
Um,
it is.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Mhm.
a horror story. That's the whole thing, you know. And I
I
want
just
that to
need-
be the core of it.
I just need it to take on better forms, and obviously Juniper Hill, still on about that, and
Right.
or if we see more Pennywise the
Oh,
clown,
AJ.
more Pennywise the clown, he needs to just be. That's what I liked about the opening of episode 6. Before he did his little jittery movements and ran at the kid and Ingrid, he just like stood there and he was like, "Hey," like it's like the
Do something
awkwardness.
different.
The awkwardness is scary. I don't know, like to me, just the like he's not doing anything, but you know that, like in a gut feeling, you know there's something wrong with this, like the uncanniness, right? Which is what clowns typically invoke in people, right? Is
Yeah.
like that's a human, but it looks weird, so it scares me. That's why people have a fear of clowns, because they look uncanny. And I just think we need more of that. Less is more. I would say leave it up to the imagination. I feel like is more scarier than
It's the
just
CGI.
monstrous form.
That makes the clownness not scary, right? I mean, like,
Mhm.
because clowns work in other settings, like people in real life doing the whole clown thing and like standing outside of public places is super creepy.
The
Like
2016
Terrifier.
clown. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And then still people did it afterwards, you know.
Mhm.
And like I don't know, it's just that for me, man, it's that dumb big ass forehead he's got. It's just so silly looking.
I think the
and dumb. It's
design-
like a big ass thumb on his head. I'm just like,
I think the design itself is really good, but it's almost too fantastical, and that's what I like about Tim Curry version of Pennywise, is because he just looks like a regular clown, but his
Yeah.
personality is acting crazy. So that's why Pennywise in that version, I think, in the very beginning of the miniseries, is more scarier than Bill's Pennywise. But that's the thing too, is that I think Bill is still such a good actor, and I think he could totally pull off the unsettling, behavior, because he totally has before in both It movies. We just need more spotlight on that aspect of him, because he can do it. I believe in his performance. It's just he hasn't had the ability to yet. So, but since we're getting 3 seasons, maybe.
opportunity to.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, proper opportunity, right?
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
we've seen at least, you know. But maybe that's not what one wants to be either. What if it got darker with each season?
Right. I would love
An
that
idea.
too. More dark. Yeah.
I would love that. That's what I want out of the show, you know. But we'll see what
Because
happens.
right now, despite it's a very good show. I don't think it's bad, but it's very much more like it is a more mature Scooby-Doo kind of thing going on, which isn't inherently bad, but it's not necessarily what you really want out of a show like this, especially continuing in its
I give it a little
storyline.
bit more credit than Scooby Doo. You know
Well,
what I mean? But
I mean,
like,
that's the only thing I can really base it off
yeah,
fully.
just because children are dying and stuff, and I feel like that might be part of the pull to get people in to be like, this is real horror, when it's
Right.
like it kind of is. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I get what you mean for sure.
Mhm.
And again, that's not necessarily supposed to be a jab, because Scooby-Doo's great. I love Scooby-Doo. And even they had creepy episodes in the incorporated show that they did
Oh,
on
yeah.
Cartoon Network. So, like, again, it's just like that's what it's kind of leaning right now.
Batman Scooby Doo crossover. When is it happening? Live action.
Batman
Let's
versus
go.
Pennywise right now. That's the
Batman
season
wins.
finale.
Batman grabs Constantine and he wins. He'll find a way. He'll always win.
Because Andy Muschietti, right? He's directing so far the DCU Batman movie.
Oh god, I didn't think about that.
That's how they put him
Yeah,
in.
right.
That's how they put it in. That's how they revealed the
Yeah.
actor for Batman.
Joe is Mr. Quiet. No thoughts on episode 6 here, Joe?
I mean, I was letting you guys. I'm being good at letting you guys continue your conversation.
That's all right.
My thoughts are pretty simple. I like you guys. I'm kind of on the same, but I think 6 is probably the worst episode of the show right now. I think it's like really like there's some ideas that could work, but I think it suffers from a lot of issues. One of my issues that you guys didn't even talk about is I don't like the rehash. How you go and watch? I get this is a prequel. And we saw this,
Oh, I see.
and then we saw this second. I didn't like the way that they did the fighting of the proto losers club. We'll call them.
the kids
like the
group,
Brady-
yeah.
Yeah, that it had to be like instead of the Bill and Richie fight, you have Ronnie and Lily.
Oh.
Like I get that it's probably tearing them apart, and I get that they're probably part of the plan, but the execution of it
Oh,
was
I
just
agree.
So, like,
I agree, actually.
I
Yeah.
think the biggest problem with that is that compared to the Losers Club in the movie, we got to see Pennywise do more scary things to the kids individually, so it made more sense for them to be so scared that they fall apart as a group. While
Yes.
the group in the show, again, we haven't
it-
seen much.
The timing
So-
for Ronnie just didn't make sense to blow up like that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just it didn't work out. Just something else I was gonna say.
I feel like they needed one more episode for that almost. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like to set it
drag
up
it
better,
longer.
and then like actually execute it in 7 or something. Maybe like the beginning. I don't know. Who knows what they have in store for the 2 more episodes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 more episodes. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy how it's almost done. And I'm like, oh, it's almost the
Yeah,
end.
they go fast once they get going. Once you get to like episode 4 or 5, you're like, man, this show is almost over.
That's
And
what
then
I
the next
go,
thing you know is you're watching the finale.
Yeah.
You're like, oh man, wow, that was fast. Like
It
that's how I
happens.
felt about
And,
Share Company.
I will be
over?
honest, episode 6, I was like not watching. I watched the opening, and then after that, like I said earlier, I kind of fumbled. I was half watching the episode. I was not locked in.
Yeah, I
was
didn't want to watch it either. That's why I didn't watch it until right before we did this.
Because I was just like waiting for something to happen, and then like you said with like the drum set, I'm like, is this a dream sequence? I can't tell. Like, is this? I dead ass thought it was like an illusion of some kind, but nope, it was real. And I'm like, okay, I guess. But I'm like, I don't know how. It just like doesn't properly connect. At least not yet. Maybe episode 7 will fix that, and 8 and 8. I want to say 9, but it's only gonna be 8 episodes.
Well, it kind of
unfortunately.
seems
But-
like what they were doing at the end was they had that big party, and then now the people somehow the guy that got fired, Henry's dad, he actually rallied the people to go over to where all the black people were hiding,
Mm.
and that was gonna be a whole gang shootout at that place.
Right.
Now, what I'm
Yeah.
confused about that situation is Pennywise's influence is only supposed to reach in Derry, and they all were. Well, I get they were in Derry when that happened, but you would think that if he influenced their aggressive behavior, I don't understand why. Really, Chosen. That's it. But how does that happen if he's not supposed to be able to? The military base is outside of Derry. He should not be able to follow them there.
My question is,
Probably
is
because
it
he
can
pissed him
Pennywise?
off though, and he's following Holleran, and now he's opened Holleran's box. There's got to be something, right?
My thing is like, is it Penny? Is it that Pennywise cannot leave Derry at all, or it's simply just because he chooses not to because he knows that this is his spot? Because I feel like if you're such a big evil entity and something like the light, his true form is supposed to be something so crazy that the human mind cannot comprehend, and yet he can't step out of Derry. That doesn't really make sense to me, because if you're gonna be all powerful, but you can't step out of, like, I feel like he should be able to step out of Derry. He just chooses not to.
I thought about like earlier seasons being that he could leave Derry, but
Mhm.
we get him confined in one of these seasons and see how that happened to him. But they also say Shaw says that these people have been watching him with the pillars for like 400 years.
Mhm.
or
I
something
did
like
see
that.
the promo. I thought a lot of the stuff with him in the promo was flashback stuff, though, because of what happens to Ingrid's father. But if you're saying it's present day stuff, then that would make sense, I guess.
What do you mean?
In the promo, it shows Pennywise, but I thought all the Pennywise shots were of when he's taking over
Yeah,
the
because
persona of Pennywise the clown.
because we get to see more of Ingrid when she's the little girl clown with her dad in the carnival. That's what they shown in the promo. Oh, at the end of the the end part of the promo, you see him there in the fire. Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. We'll just have to wait and see until, Sunday, which is soon.
It's weird
Yeah,
they did screeners. It's weird they did screeners for episode 7, and that people are already saying episode 7 is.
Maybe that's
consider
why
to be
they
the
did
best.
it. Maybe that's why they
Yeah.
did the extra screenings, because they know it's really good, or something
Yeah.
crazy special happens.
They're confident about it, apparently.
Is that it?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think we're good.
Welcome to Dairy. Welcome to Doob Doo.
Is that what you're calling it now? We're gonna do.
I'll be special because I wear a smile and a ribbon in my hair. I will give
Dang.
that show that I never skip the intro. when
You
it
like
comes
the
to
intro,
Dare.
huh?
I like
That's
it.
how
I
I feel
let it
about
play.
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker?
Oh yeah,
Mm,
gotta
yeah,
watch the
Peace-
intro.
yeah.
Do you really want to taste it, or Julian? Come on.
Both, yeah. Oh, Julian.
All right.
Oh my god. It's Stranger Things time.
Stranger Things.
I've seen things stranger than this. Not gonna lie. But
You've
Who
seen
wants to start?
Stranger Things. Kenna's gonna start because Kenna's our resident
Me?
expert.
me? Oh.
You were a
Yeah,
Stranger
you actually
Things fan
know
before
it
any of us.
better than we do. You do.
I don't know where to start. I guess spoilers for Stranger Things Part 1, Season 5, of course, because I will just be
Lots of
talking.
spoilers.
Yeah. I'm liking what they're doing with 11. I'm excited at the end of the I don't know which episode. I know that people don't like season 2 that much, but personally it's my favorite of the show, and I like the subplot with the sister and like the other kids. So I'm glad that they brought her back, 8. And hopefully, I mean, listen, I do see the criticisms because it was kind of messy, but I still liked it for the most part. So I'm hoping that season 5 will fix some of the issues that people had with season 2 with the sister. I just hope they just don't use her as a plot device, or they just push her to the side. I can also just see her becoming some sacrificial lamb of some sort, maybe, or maybe her and 11 team up to save the kids. I really like Vecna as the bad guy. I'm very interested. I think the best parts of the show is Max and Lucas relationship. I hope they get more screen time because I think they're the better couple out of the many other characters in the show. And I liked how Max met up with Holly, and then we're actually seeing something that Vecna's scared of. Whatever's in that cave, we'll definitely see it explained sometime later in the show. I'm trying to think what else. My thing is, the Duffer Brothers, are they gonna kill off some of the main characters? Because they did that fake out with Hopper, and I'm like, no, I'm like, oh my god, are they totally gonna kill off Hopper? And like, I think it was like episode 3, and then they didn't. So I'm like, okay, that was a fake. There's nothing more than I hate fake out deaths. Now, they didn't used to bother me, but there was this one show that I watched. The entire season, each episode, they did that constantly, and I was like, you gotta stop. We gotta stop with the fake out deaths. You're
gotta
either
stop.
dying or you're not.
I'm done with this.
You're dead or you're not, okay? There's no fake outs. Robin, I'm a little concerned about Robin because she was so good in season 3, and she was good in season 4, but I feel like, again, the Duffer Brothers, because they have so much to do with the writing, and I think some characters get lost in development. And oh my god, Dustin, all right. I understand that he's grieving about Eddie. I totally get it. But the dialogue is so corny. It was very hard watch, episode 1. I was rolling my eyes. I was like, it was bad. It's just like,
I
you have a
forgot
feeling
about him
Joseph-
too after that. Like it took so long for him to show back up again, and it was like, oh right, Dustin.
yeah, no.
I was
I'm
like,
what
I
the-
feel he's like underutilized this season.
But they're trying to push him to do something. I think it's gonna be something. I think Dustin will die. Maybe he's gonna like man up or whatever, or own up to his mistakes, and then he's like, I'm gonna be the hero. I'm gonna sacrifice. Or I can totally see he's gonna try to sacrifice himself, but Steve will step in to save him. Like, okay, not too much on Steve. Chosen, I see you. I Steve Defender over here. Steve has been getting the short end of the stick. Now, I will say that he's not doing so hot this season, not yet. But I'm really kind of sick of the whole Jonathan versus Steve thing. Because I'm like, we did this season 1 and 2. I don't know why we're still doing it. And also, I really wish Nancy would just break up with Jonathan, and I wouldn't say I want her to go back with Steve either. I would rather just her be single.
Yeah.
Because I think Steve and Jonathan are both bad for her, because if she were to go back with Steve, that would ruin both of their character developments that they did from the past seasons. And then Jonathan is just like not being a good, like, I'm sorry, I would not if my little sister got kidnapped by Vecna and my mom is in the hospital because a Demogorgon beat her, I would not want to be proposed to. That wouldn't, because Murray's like, oh, that might lighten her mood. I would no, that's such inappropriate timing. Like, you're insane. Like, I'm like, the Duffer Brothers cannot write romance, because that's the biggest issue with like Mike and Eleven during the season 3 and 4. They have such good build up during season 1 and 2, and then now they're an actual couple, and then they don't know what to do with them anymore. And this isn't just a Duffer Brothers thing. This happens in a lot of media too, unfortunately, where a couple setup is so good, but then once they're a couple officially, the writers just don't know how to write them individually anymore. Yeah, no, I think Nancy should be single, honestly. Or like, don't have Jonathan propose to her.
I bet.
And also the thing about Nancy is that she is a very feminist character. And for her, and not to say like, I do believe because she's a very independent woman, that does not mean that she doesn't deserve love or she can't be with a significant other. But to have such a badass who's like, she's smart, she's book smart, and she knows how to shoot with a gun, like she's tough, and then have her get married so young, I feel like, even though I think she's like 20s, like I don't like it. I think it's just messy.
Meanwhile, what's her face is actually getting married in real life at like how old?
Oh, Natalie Dyer, the actress?
No.
Millie Bobby Brown. Oh yeah, 21. She's already married and she adopted. But that's the thing, is like, I know that like she is young too, but also like she's so financially stable that I don't care. It would be one thing if
not Nancy.
That's another thing. Not Nancy. Yeah. Nancy and Jonathan should stay together but don't get married. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, maybe she's like, I still love you, but no, we're not getting married. And that's another weird subplot too, because I don't even remember what Jonathan did in season 4, but I remember in season 3, Jonathan was lying to Nancy about the college he was going to. He wasn't even going to college, and Nancy's such a career-driven character during season 3. I don't know why she would ever want to marry Jonathan, who doesn't even know what he wants to do yet with his life. Like, their character motivations just don't line up together anymore. I think love Erica. Erica's always good. I love the scene where they poison Tina's pie. I think that's good. I just like Lucas, Max, and
Tina. I said to eat your damn pie.
Yeah, and Erica. Derek, went from Derek dipshit to delightful Derek. I think that's sweet. Mike is better again. I will say Mike was such a little bitch season 3.
Mike is great this season.
Mike is really good this season. Okay, I must say this now. Kill Will Byers. Kill him now. I'm so sick of Will Byers. I want him dead.
What is your beef with Will so bad?
I want him dead. I want him gone. I want him off my TV screen right now. I'm so sick of him. Spoiler. The final episode where he starts using the powers. My first reaction was, can we kill this guy? I'm so it makes sense that Will. No, I don't care. I will not give him a break. He needs a break. He can just die. Okay, that will give him a break.
Kenna wanted us to think he was gonna get powers and then just get his neck snapped, essentially.
It makes sense.
8 and 11 walk back into the area, and they're like, "We got this," and then they.
I'm not not saying that they are gonna kill Will. I'm saying that I want him dead. Am I saying that it's gonna happen?
Saying that she's gonna kill Will.
I'm gonna kill Will personally. You will see me on your TV screens. I will pop up and I will kill Will myself.
She hates Will that much.
I remember Jake said he's gonna be in Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Me and him are
Remember
gonna
that?
team up with Ted Wheeler. All right, this is how the season finale of Stranger Things is gonna go, everybody. Right? It's me and Doctor Strangerverse. We team up with Ted Wheeler. Everybody's almost dead, especially Will. He's very close to dying. It's me, Jake, and Ted Wheeler. We get Ted Wheeler off his recliner, and we're like, okay, dude, you only used your
Yeah, it's
1%
going
power
great.
the last time. You need to use it, your full potential to defeat Vecna. So it's the
That's
three of us,
how-
and we do some slow-mo walk, explosions in the background, whatever. And then we defeat Vecna. Ted Wheeler. Well, first Ted Wheeler says like, "I've seen Stranger Things," and then he blows up Vecna, and then happily ever after, and Will's dead.
I
Will
believe
had to be a sacrifice. Everybody else lived. Will died.
No, Jake says he's joking, but he just has to say that because he's afraid of
Yeah,
you know,
Death
it
Brother.
getting
Yeah,
out that
he's afraid of being
that
cut
we have
out.
the leak. That we have the leak. He doesn't want people to know we have the leak. He's gonna
Yeah,
be.
we've
It's
seen
gonna be a big
the
deal.
finale, guys. Jake's in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we have
He
the
saves the
information.
day.
I've seen all the editing
You
cuts
know-
of it. He's in it for sure.
You know what's in that cave that Vecna's so scared of? Guess who's in that cave? Doctor Strangerverse.
Yeah, you know what's in
That
that
cave.
you know what's in that cave? It's Doctor Strangerverse, but as Gambit, just like killing everybody
Woo, I'm
on
about to
Rivals.
make a name for myself here.
That's what
Playing
Vecna's
Marvel
scared
Rivals,
of.
rivals on a TV. I'm cooking as Jean Grey.
Yeah.
No, but back to okay. All seriousness, I understand that Will has powers. It makes sense that he has the powers. I'm not denying it. Okay, I just hate it. I just don't like it. I can't give you guys a good reason. I'm just sick of
But
him.
like, he's been so weak this whole time, you know? Like that was the whole thing, and like now he's strong.
I know,
like,
and I rolled, and I said, can we kill
I
this
mean,
guy?
I get it. The writing in Stranger Things has been very on the nose, you know, like very.
Will's just such attention seeking, and I'm like, you
It-
need to move on.
And it just doesn't feel like much happened
Yeah.
in like part one. Is how I feel like. Where's the meat of like? Okay, what do we really got? Okay, Will got powers at the end. 11 and Hopper take forever to get into a place. We learn next to nothing except for they have 8. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
and like maybe they know more about this wall. Like, will that even really matter? I don't know. Like, it like what else? Okay, the Hopper parents got hurt, and we got a little bit with Holly and Max. Like, we
Mhm.
don't really know what's going on there yet, though. It's setting
It
it
is
up.
more-
So
to
there's a lot
me-
of setup, but
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. To me, it makes more sense for Holly to have powers than Will. But I also understand Vecna went after Will, and he's going after all these other kids because they all have they're sensitive, something special about them, right? That they're able to really connect with the Upside Down.
right.
And again, it's like, I get it. I totally get what's going on. But yeah, just the way that it's written, I'm like, not into it. Also, I
Mind
just find
flayers,
Will
the true
annoying.
villain. See, I see it like also that Will is gonna die because Will is connected to Vecna.
That's right.
Yep.
I was talking
Right.
this with a
I
friend of
don't-
mine.
See this as a Harry Potter situation where he gets out alive.
The boy
what I
who
mean?
lives. You know?
Yeah, I don't
I think
see.
it's
I
like-
see Will. If Vecna goes, Will goes. Like, there's no other way around it.
Or
They're gonna-
Will and 11, they have to team up and they all die. Or maybe it's 8 and 11 and Will. Or 8 and Will. I don't know. They all team up somehow and some sacrifice is going to happen. They will. Even though I find Duffer Brothers to be very, I don't know, what's the appropriate word to say on YouTube? Weak in the sense of killing off main characters, I would say. I do think they're still gonna do it, but it's gonna be a while, and it's also just like I guess kind of how I feel about the Batman fan casting. There's so many talks of like the possibilities of who's gonna die. I'd rather just wait to watch it and see. and be like, okay, this guy's gonna go, or this person's gonna go. Just, see how it all plays out.
You guys really think the Mind Flayer is going to be the main villain? I don't think that.
I find
think
that to be lame. I find that to be very lame.
they haven't built that up enough.
Very lame, very
Unless
bland.
they make that a twist like real soon.
Right.
And like do something with it. But like if that, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just think it's boring. Cause like, okay, the Mind Flayer is the Mind Flayer, like, but like Vecna is arguably more interesting because it's actually like somewhat of a human character. Like we can understand his emotions.
Yeah, but that's the thing that sucks about this show, and I know this is a bad take to say, but because once again, even Stranger Things isn't safe from Hollywood's desire to redeem every single character. Because what's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen. Okay, so you guys all have this perfect picture of like 11 and all these other characters, teaming up to stop Vecna, right?
Hmm.
This is gonna be more like My Little Pony shit. What's gonna be like, hey, Vecna, 11's gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry this happened, and then, hey, we're gonna all team up against the Mind Flayer now, and then like Kenna
I
says,
see. I see where you're going, but I really don't think the Duffer Brothers are gonna.
I really hope that doesn't happen, man.
I don't think
I'm telling you, man, I see it. I see it happening.
the Duffer Brothers aren't great. However, I don't think they're gonna do that. I would say the only worser ending that has been a very popular theory is
Dr. Worserverse.
AJ, I'm just telling you, AJ, this is not what I want to happen. This is how little faith I have in this show. Like that's.
Hold on, I gotta hear what you're building up to, kinda.
Go ahead, Kenna.
I don't think they're gonna do, because there's so much, they have like so much pressure for this finale to be good that I don't even think they're gonna do the whole redeeming Vecna, because they already showed his backstory in season 4 that like he's bad from the get-go. Like there's no rhyme or reason to quote unquote redeem him or make him sympathetic, because there's nothing really, unless of course I do understand that there is a Broadway show, or there was a stage show where they did more of his backstory, and yes, there's arguably sympathetic parts from what I can tell, but I don't see them doing that kind of ending friendship is magic thing, because they have so much pressure on this season being good. And the other thing though that I was gonna say is that ending, I would rather take that compared to that. This has been a very popular theory for a long time, is the whole it was all a dream, it was a D&D campaign that the kids made up the entire time. If that happens, you will not be hearing from me. You will not see me. I will be gone. You will never hear from me again. Yeah, no.
You're gonna crash. You're gonna crash out from
I will turn to dust Peter Parker style if it is the D&D it was all a dream ending. I will say, I don't feel so good, guys, and you'll see me turn to dust. That is how I'm gonna be if that's how it ends.
Dang, you're gonna crash. You're gonna crash out.
Nope. Stranger Things did the D&D ending.
You're just gonna crash out that hard over that theory, huh?
Ah! I just scream. Yeah, no. Yeah, the theory is stupid. The thing is, okay, it was all a dream ending isn't bad, but it doesn't. It's such lazy. This is more of a side tangent. It's such lazy writing. It only really works. Yeah, at this point it is because it's been overdone. I would say the only story that it really works well is Alice in Wonderland, the original animated film. But when you have such a complex show with Stranger Things and other complex shows that have lasted longer, if you do that, it's just lazy. It's just unoriginal.
There's a really good 70s, or I think it's a 70s, or maybe it's a 90s movie. Yeah, Jacob's Ladder. It did that too, and it was just like really, I don't know. You had to see it for yourself, I guess. But I think it's a very good movie.
Yeah, I guess my major. my major critiques of season 5 is that they're pushing forward, they're setting up things that are interesting. I'm not gonna lie. My biggest, I guess, my biggest peeve is that the dialogue and some of the characters' writing are just so corny, and it seems so out of left field for some of these guys. Again, like Jonathan's marriage proposal, or
I
Dustin.
think some of it just like they need to beat you over the head re-explaining things that are happening in the show, and like while they do it in a way that makes sense of explaining it to another character, it's just like so obvious the way they do it too. Like,
That's really cool. Underground.
We're putting Joe to sleep on this episode, guys.
I know.
Hey, welcome to Darian Stranger Things. We're putting this kid to bed.
Wake up! Joe.
I mean, that
we haven't been streaming at all, Joe. You're dreaming. This is all a dream.
This is all a dream. We're about to do the podcast. Wake up.
We're about to do the podcast.
I've been calling you on the phone. Wake up.
Dang, that's crazy. I'm awake. I'm just kind
of. We gotta talk about Stranger Things.
I'm awake. I'm just, to be honest, and I mean this in the nicest way, I'm kind of fatigued on these two topics because I've kind of come to the situation of like, yeah, you know, the Welcome to Derry stuff. We all have Christmas. We all have different things, and that's all. And that was fun listening to you guys talk about it. But I just kind of like, these aren't my wheelhouse properties. So like, for me, it's just not. And I mean this in the nice way. I know a lot of people like this. I'm just not that interested anymore. Like, I don't have a drive to make Stranger Things videos. I don't like. I don't know.
This is also this goes on with like the other.
Like, we gotta stick with the new stuff, Joe. Come on, Joe.
Gotta log in. Wake up.
I'm letting you guys handle it. I just don't have anything to say.
But anyways, but back to what Joe was saying though. He is right with, I think this is kind of what everybody's feeling with Stranger Things Season 5, despite it, everyone, especially the fans, the really big Stranger Things fans, have been waiting for this. The 5-year gap is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is unfair, and it's so stupid, and I think it worked for Stranger Things, but because Stranger Things is such a successful show, then now that's kind of becoming every other show where we wait 5 years for Season 2. When we shouldn't. It's ridiculous, and I just think it's unfair to the actors, to the writers, and to us as the fans and the viewers, because that's the problem. It creates fatigue. We literally waited 5 years for Stranger Things Season 5, and just for it to even end up, like, the possibility of it ending up as mediocre as a finale, like, that's really a shame for everybody involved, I feel like. If the finale of Season 5 is not as good as people want it to be, and we had to wait 5 years, it's not going to be good. Also, I will not be watching any spin-off shows. You cannot make me. I know that there's going to be an animated show. That will not trick me. I don't care that it's animated. I will not watch it. You can't make me.
I still have hope. This could just be the setup. They had to have picked these dates because they knew they had something special.
Right, they knew they had something crazy. That is true. I will give them that.
And it's Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's the setup. I mean, I can excuse it so long as we actually deliver on part 2
something crazy for Christmas and something even crazier for New Year's.
Right.
Yeah, I totally.
And I'm like, damn, I can't wait a week to watch this finale. If they get me in that mood, whoo! Yeah, no, it'll be fun. But
AJ, I'll be honest, buddy. I see your comment there about the creators don't do that interesting thing about what I said because UFO 80s culture. I get the idea of that everyone likes the science side of different things, but look, I've seen all the seasons, and I know this is their final season. I know they want to do whatever the best they can. I've said it since Season 4. I don't, and this might be a hot take, I don't like the Duffer Brothers. I don't think the Duffer Brothers are the geniuses that people make them out to be. And I don't trust their work.
That just reminded me of my other issue with this season. And also you can kind of see it in the other seasons too. Specifically Season 3 through 5. Is that they're so reliant of already existing IPs. I get it. It's set in the 80s. And I think there should be 80s references allowed, right? That makes total sense. but I just couldn't stand where it's Holly and Max, and Holly's like, it's just like the Wrinkle in Time book. I was like, it doesn't, like, just have your own, like, I understand that it's hard to make something completely original because everything has already been done. I totally understand that, and there's nothing wrong with being inspired by different things and having references and little nods here and there. But I really feel like they have become too reliant on those said references.
Oh yeah.
And that they just, I don't know, like, they have enough original stuff to make it interesting for sure. I'm not denying that. But also, it's really hard to ignore, again, the whole, it's just like a Wrinkle in Time. It's just
I
like
don't know,
this.
like,
You've seen that movie?
That kind of
Yeah.
stuff doesn't bother me because I just find it to be realistic. Like, we will always reach out for stories in our lives that feel similar to situations that we're going through. I do this
Right.
on a regular basis. So, like, for her, like, what really drove home, no, you need to go back, was if you want to get away from Camazotz, then this is the only way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I like that. You know what I mean? Like, I do get the whole, like, it does start to feel tropey and overdone and stuff like that. I get that because a lot of things do this. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel that's why a lot of things do this, because it's relatable in a way. You know what I mean? Like, at least in my own life. And that's that's
Sorry.
another thing about just storytelling in general. Not everything's going to relate with everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of talking about things and having difference of opinions and everything. So
That is very true.
yeah.
What else? I guess, I don't know. I just feel like if this came out earlier, I definitely feel like I would be way more into it than I am. I'm definitely less into it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It took a while to get this. And it's just
yeah.
like, what is it though? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we need more. We need
Yeah.
a little
Oh
just
yeah,
more.
I was just gonna go like, no, I'm not watching spin-offs. I'm not reading a book. I'm not doing anything. Once season 5 is completely done, so will I. I will be completely done.
I'm closing the book.
Literally,
Like, we're done here.
literally.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there is a possibility that maybe something will interest me. Maybe. It's definitely so far not gonna be that
we'll be
one
here talking
animated
about
spin-off.
it. We'll be here talking about it. We'll be
That
like,
is
oh
true.
yeah, animated new Stranger
And-
Things. Will. It's a Will sequel.
No, not Will. Yeah.
Now we have something new to threaten you with, the fact that your hatred of Will is so strong.
No.
Ah, it's good.
No.
It's like the Snyderverse and Joe.
What
Dude,
was
the
the...
Willverse. The Willverse.
Yep.
Everybody
Will
in
the- Will the
Stranger
Wise,
Things
the
is replaced
universe.
with a version of Will.
I do really love Joyce. It is a shame that her sons are Jonathan and Will. But I love Joyce.
See, I'm kind of the opposite of you, kind of. Like, I won't say I love Will. Like, I don't have anything really... I don't have really anything good or bad to say about Will. But if I were to reach into this show, like, the moment that he tried to propose, I'm stabbing Jonathan and ending him in his entirety, because
That's crazy.
I hate Jonathan. Like, if I did a
You
ranking
hate
of all the
Jonathan?
characters every season of the show, Jonathan is by far my
The
least favorite
sad
character
thing about
in every
Jonathan,
season.
The sad thing about Jonathan is that his scenes when they all thought Will was dead was so good. Like, I think his grieving is so much better compared to like Dustin's grieving right now. And it's a shame that the writing isn't to the same standard, because Jonathan has something going for him, but then they just dropped the ball on him after season 2. Season 3 is the turning point that everybody's character got effed up over. Like, it's just like, well, the Wise, it's just, I don't know, like, they just forgot how to write these characters, or I feel like they had too much characters going on, and they clearly have favorites, which is fair. Sometimes that does happen within the writer's room, where they clearly have a favorite character, but that can really show through the work of the show of who clearly gets the better development compared to this character. And it is a it is a shame. and it should be equal to all. And I feel like that is one of the problems of Stranger Things, is that some characters get more focus than others when it should be more balanced for everybody
Well,
involved.
what they should do is, if they were gonna do this show and they were gonna have all these characters, and I mean this in the nicest way, and I'll continue to say this, these creators of this show and the writers that they hire, they need better writers. They need better people that know how to handle characters and know how to handle multiple characters. Because every time they introduce someone new, they're adding another person that they don't know how to write or how to fit into the story.
Mm-hmm.
So like in
You
season
can joke him. Well, it's alright, Chosen. Well, here's the thing, Chosen. You said earlier Will is gonna win. Can I trust? Maybe he does something. Maybe he does something in the later parts that may impress me. Or maybe not. I don't know.
11 and 8 go down. Will's the only hope left. Oh shit!
See, that's what I don't want. That's what I don't want.
Will gets his end game moment. Everyone is done. He's like Captain America, ready to like take on Vecna.
I'm turning to dust, y'all. It's gonna happen.
Hopper's gonna die.
Oh yeah.
Hopper's the one that's gonna die.
But they faked this out with a hint so many
But that
times.
could be a
it wouldn't
hint.
mean.
That could be a foreshadowing.
He's the one
They
that's
think
gonna
that
die.
Yeah.
He has to
I
be.
could see it. I could see it.
Yeah,
Or
his
Joyce.
ex-wife left him. His
I can see Joyce
biological
dying,
daughter's
too.
dead. He's kind of like a weird boy. That's another thing too. I don't like the Joyce and Hopper thing right now. I don't like it because it was really
one of
good.
them's dying.
Good setup. Then they're a couple, and then it's bad. That is the major problem with these relationships in Stranger Things as a whole, is that the setup is so good, and then they get together. The only difference is that Max and Lucas are pretty good, 100% of most of the time. They do not face that issue. But the issue with that is that the only reason why they don't face that issue is an issue within itself, because they don't get the proper screen time or writing all the time compared to the other characters. So it's like, I don't know, double-edged sword, I suppose.
Right. No, I get that. You're not wrong about that.
Mhm.
I can't see 11 dying over Hopper, guys. I can't. I don't know why. To me, just like, if you're gonna kill off one of the two characters, Hopper makes so much more sense, because 11's the one that's like gonna grow into whoever she's gonna be, and like Hopper's gone and she's lost that. Like, to have Hopper go on is like such a much more bleak ending that I do not see this show going for, personally.
Mhm.
I just feel like they're foreshadowing 11 dying a lot now, especially this season. Like they've
How so?
Well, just that in season 4 there was a whole thing about how 11 is the only one that can stop Vecna, and now the fact that she is literally the fact that she now like literally the fact that she made Henry pretty much into Vecna, and the Upside Down became a whole thing. This is classic storytelling where the hero has to defeat the villain, and then but 11 it happened in
All right,
what
I see
episode was
that,
it?
but I feel
Yeah.
like Will's also connected at the same time, and then
Hear me out.
there's also
They all
8.
die. They all die.
That's what I want. That's the
All
ending
of
I want. I want that ending. I think it's the smart move, but nobody else wants it apparently.
Well, I think some characters deserve to live.
I don't-
though.
I don't
think
care.
we need.
I just wanna
think
see.
we need. I think we do need some happy endings from time to time. Not everything needs to be
Oh.
really gritty in reality, where like, oh, if we're facing such a demon monster, then no one's gonna live. Like I think there's some characters that do need and deserve a happy ending at the end of the show, and continue.
And I mean, with this show, I feel like you're gonna get that. But
Yeah.
Who still needs to live?
Max, Lucas, Nancy,
That one-
Robin,
those are-
Steve.
you know, it's kind of funny.
Actually, you could even though I don't like Will, you can even argue that like that's the thing about the deaths that everybody scares about, is that technically all these characters deserve to live happy lives, right?
True.
But that's where who's gonna die? Like that's the mystery of it.
Oh, now we got all the hate on Ted. That's so funny.
No, Ted's the goat, guys. Ted will kill Will. That's how the ending's gonna go. I'm just kidding.
You love
Ted's
Ted
great.
so much.
And I
Ted's
just
like
think
a big
he's a
character for
funny
you.
guy.
Don't
I
tell
had
Jake
something
that.
and I lost it.
Jake hates Ted.
There he does. What were you guys?
What are you saying, sure, AJ, about? Kind of went off camera.
Alright.
I'm ready for bed. I don't know about you guys. It's already 10:30 my time. I gotta work in a couple hours.
No, I was trying to remind myself of what I had, and I was saying, it's kind of funny about that, and it was something to do with the ending of Stranger Things, but I don't know what it was anymore. That was ironic. It'll
You
come
like
back to
him,
me
sure?
for a future episode. What's that?
What do you mean? What do you mean, like him? Sure, AJ. I'm reading the comments right now. I like how Jake's being silent when we're talking about Ted.
All right. Well, when Kenna gets back, I think we're just about done here. Yeah.
We're wrapping up, yeah. Oh, great! My comments aren't showing up again. Oh, they aren't
No,
showing
I
up
see you,
again.
Jake.
We see you now.
Unless you said something earlier.
Were you saying
Sorry.
things earlier? We were talking about you and Ted.
Ted Wheeler's the GOAT. He's like the Shaggy of the Stranger Things universe.
Thanks, Underground.
Just-
You hear that,
Yeah.
You hear that, Jake? It kind of says Ted is such the goat that he's the Shaggy of the universe.
Oh, sorry, Jake. Could you maybe re-say, or I can look? Because maybe we did see them, but we were so wrapped up in what we were talking about that we missed it.
No, Kenna.
No, what? It's never no, kinda. It's always kinda
Uh-oh.
yes.
It's about
Alright?
Bill
That's
and
how
Ted.
it works.
Really.
That's how it works, guys. That's
The
the
Demo
rules.
Dogs need to go after Ted Wheeler.
No, why do you guys hate Ted Wheeler? I don't get it. Okay, is he a good dad? No, he's kind of neglectful.
But is he a
Okay.
boss? Yes.
I'll give you that. Is he a yeah, he's a boss. You guys are just jealous. You guys are jealous that he's
Imagine
married
Ted
to
like
Karen.
in the swag,
and you're
dude.
not.
Yeah, nah, Ted's
You hater?
rocking, bro.
Who's a
Ted's
hater, AJ?
rolling,
You're saying
bro.
Kenna's a hater?
I'm a hater. Well, I'm a hater of Will, but a lover of Ted.
Okay,
Jake said,
Karen.
Jake said, I hope that Ted stays dead.
No, so you're just jealous, guys, that he has a Karen and you don't. I think that's what it is. Ted doesn't even know. Okay, yeah, he's a bad dad, right? But that doesn't mean he's powerless. You know, like fucking Goku. He's a neglectful father.
He sits on his ass all day.
But look at Goku. He's the
Goku.
strongest guy ever, and he sucks at being a
Goku.
dad.
He's saving the universe. He's like saving
So
the
is Ted
world.
Wheeler.
Oh.
You guys don't get he's saving the universe. How could you hate Will and love Ted? It's because
Goku,
Ted's
wow.
not like Ted's not always going like, oh guys, I sense something Vecna's after me. That's why.
Oh, I can't
Ted's
stand
not
Will.
annoying.
Yeah, I can't stand Will either. But finally, he's gets something. You got to give him a little bit of something.
You have some
gotta give him
common
a-
sense, Jake.
You got to give him
Goku
a
to
chance.
Will.
He's finally got an ability now. He's finally got strength. He was just told to his face how weak he was, and now he's stepping up. You know, like
Hey,
let's give him a
um,
chance.
Okay, if he
Maybe
doesn't
we'll
man
keep
up
going.
by part 2 and 3, I don't want to
He
hear it.
already is manning up right now.
Okay.
He
Oh, can I
leveled
just say
up.
something? Another thing too about Will getting powers, and it's because in the scene it's like whatever, but I saw some people trying to like make edits of him, and like and then he does the nose swipe with the nosebleed, and they're like, aura Will. It actually makes him less, gives him less aura. It just like 11 did it first. Like you're just a copycat. I'm.
So I had a friend who thinks Will's gay.
Oh, he is.
Okay, so I need to dive
Okay.
into this because
Alright.
yeah, he's like no, like see this scene where Robin's telling him it's okay to be your true self. Like it's all about him like needing to accept the fact that he's gay. And I'm like, it's literally about him getting the powers though. At the end of the episode, that's like what it refers back to.
Will
is that
has been
speech
Will has been
specifically.
written has been being set up as gay for arguably since season 1, because when he went first missing, Joyce was like, oh, his dad or the bullies at his school, you know, they would call him a queer. And then Hopper would go, well, is he? And then he's like, and then Joyce said, that doesn't matter, he's missing. So it's always been set up that he is different and that he is gay, and that in the season 3 fight that people forget, in that fight between Mike and, so the thing is that Will has a crush on Mike, supposedly.
We've known
right?
he's gay since season 4. I didn't rewatch the show.
I've known that he's gay since season 1. You guys are late to the party. Alright? You guys are late to the party.
He definitely came off as gay. I'm not gonna lie. But like,
I just want to preference this first. I don't hate Will
my
for
buddy
being
kept
gay.
going, your gaydar not work, dude? Does your gaydar not work? I'm like,
I just want to say this. I don't hate Will for being gay. I hate him for every other reason, alright? I just want to say that first, alright? But, Will being gay has been a long thing coming. And oh yes, the season 3 fight where Mike is desperately trying to get 11 back to date him because they break up that one time, and Will is constantly being like, I want to play D&D, let's be how he was. And then Mike yells at him and says, it's not my fault that you don't like girls. And then yes, Jake said Will kind of confessed to Mike with the painting, where he's like, look, Mike, it's you. You're the heart of the team. You're the paladin. And then Mike's like, yeah, thanks, Will. And then he turns over to the car and he starts crying with a really bad bowl cut, but he starts crying about it. Mike was horrible in season 3. Everybody sucked in season 3 except for Erica, Steve, and Robin, I would say.
right, yeah, they were the good part of it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everybody was bad in season 3. I couldn't stand Hopper in season 3. I hated Hopper more than Mike in season 3. But yeah, no, like it's always been hinted that Will has been gay. My thing is though, people think that Mike is gonna leave 11 for Will, but I don't think that's gonna happen because there has been no setup for Mike to even consider Will as a romantic partner, because I think Mike is like completely straight. Like that's a straight dude right there. Will, not so much. And also, Noah Schnapp is also gay in real life, so obviously that bleeds through with the acting as well. I think it would be best if Will
Mike and 11 are endgame.
Yeah, Mike and 11 are endgame, right? Yeah. I mean, maybe unless one of them dies. I don't know.
Or both.
Or both, yeah. Will, I think it would be really good if Will maybe loses the crush on Mike, or he actually directly confessed to him, and then Mike is like, "Oh, sorry, bro, I don't feel the same way, but I still love
Mike's
you."
Like, I'm gay too, and then you go gay.
I mean, maybe here's the thing. That's what people want, and I'm not against Mike and Will becoming a couple. But the problem that I do have, like on paper, is fine. But the problem that I do have is that Will has so much setup of being gay, while Mike constantly, since season 1, is like, I love 11. I want 11. 11's my girlfriend. Like he's into her, like 100%.
I want Will now. He saw Will kill those Demogorgons and bleed from his nose, and he went, "Oh shit!"
No, I've seen that there's jokes
don't
of
like 11 because of her. I like her for her powers.
I've seen jokes where Will has seen like, "Oh, if Mike likes 11, well, I'll just become her." So I've seen that. Yes, I think Will needs to get an actual boyfriend that's not Mike. I think I agree too, Chosen.
Like straight characters together as gay dudes. What is that called?
What?
It's like the artwork that people do where they put like 2 straight characters as like gay dudes.
They draw straight characters as gay?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
well, that
like
like
making
yaoi?
Out and stuff. Yeah, yaoi, right? Is this like gonna turn into yaoi for a finale or something?
Yeah, well, it's just that's the thing though. That's always been in fandoms, the shipping culture of shipping of same-sex couples or different sex couples. Like that's always gonna be a thing in fandoms. So again, I'm not against Will and Mike. but it would not make sense within the context of the show because Mike has never gotten the proper build up to even show that he's
Yeah,
interested in
That's
men
why I
as
feel
well.
like it's a Yowie turn. If they do it. I'd be like, whoa. Like,
I think it would be great character development, maybe for
Like
the both of
Spy.
them. Again, like I said earlier, Will. Okay, Jake, he didn't directly tell him though. He was hinting at it. He did not properly confess to Mike that he's gay or that he's into him. That never happened. It was more of a hint to us as the audience that he's gay and that he has a crush on Mike. Or Mike was his gay awakening, essentially. It should be Mike. I mean, Will actually
Joe's out.
confesses. Yeah, Joe's gone. It's okay. Will actually confesses to Mike, and Mike's like, "I don't feel the same way, but I still love you as a friend, and I will support you." Right? I think that would be great. And then Will does actually get some other new guy. I don't know, some boyfriend appears. I don't know, but yeah.
out of
Your
nowhere in
gaydar
the
was
finale.
not on, guys. You guys were caught lacking with the gaydar.
Mine was, I guess. I have never. It's been 5 years since I watched the show, so.
Right, that's another thing too. It's like you forget things. People forget
Yeah.
things.
Oh yeah.
It makes me
Not me,
sad
though.
that it makes me
I have
sad
a
that we're
great
stuck
memory.
on the gay characters. This show. This is the focus
I
point of Stranger Things.
Really didn't care to rewatch 4 seasons of the show before.
No, it's
season
not
5,
worth
though.
it, really. It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
I didn't care for that.
I
I'm
also
like,
just
I'm
knew
good.
I have a good memory. Not to
Oh,
brag,
okay.
I have a good memory
Perfect
of
memory?
things that I remember. Perfect
Perfect
memory, yeah.
Of
I had
the
a
things
perfect
you
me-
remember.
Yeah, things that I remember, yeah.
Steel trap.
I think it's time to end the show.
Oh yeah, Joe, you
Joe's
think so?
Luke and I
Joe's
can
like,
talk
I'm
for
going
hours,
to,
but
Joe's
Joe
ready
is
to go
done.
to sleep on the podcast, literally.
No, Joe's
It's
gonna
literally-
sleep the entire time. We have
It's
to
literally
wake him up.
it's literally almost 11 o'clock, and I gotta get up in literally exactly 4 hours. So
Okay.
Oh, God. We gotta do
Yeah.
earlier on Fridays then, dude.
I'll be okay. We just need
Well,
better
we can always
end
change
topics.
it. It's not a big deal. We can do it earlier, like 7 instead of
Yeah,
8,
we might
or-
have to do. We might have to do.
or
Yeah,
even
we might have
6.
to. Do, yeah, we might have to do earlier times. Yeah,
Yeah,
might be
no, I
better.
like that.
Mhm. Yeah, no. Okay, Joe.
Will needs
This
to get an
episode
action.
has
What
been a
if
dream. This
Will
entire
and
time.
Lucas State.
No, because Lucas and Max will be in game. I
Will
think.
Will and Dustin. He nurses
Sure.
him back to health.
Oh no,
Thanks, guys.
Justin has a girlfriend. I forgot about her. He has a girlfriend. She's in another state.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But they haven't brought her up yet. They
Oh,
haven't
she'll
brought her
come
up
back.
since
She
season
always
3.
comes back out of nowhere. Yeah.
So.
And on that
Joe,
note,
you have to be
Chosen,
writing the Cecile spinoff.
nope. And on that note, I'm gonna dip because that is the end of.
Joe has to
end
write
of-
the Snyderverse Cecile spinoff, and I have to write the Snyderverse Will spinoff. We all have our jobs to do.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay, good night.
Take it easy. Thanks for coming
Yes,
by
Susie.
for episode
All right.
40 of Legion of Creators, you guys. We'll be back next week on Friday. A little bit earlier, probably. So check
Mhm.
out the post. Oh, see you, Joe. He's off the bed.
He is already
can't-
gone. He's
He
gone.
can't
He's
make
out.
it. He's like, Will who? All right.
Really? All right,
Thanks,
goodbye,
guys.
everyone. Thank you for
Have a
watching.
great time.
That's a Game Boy production.